Yes, we are live. Yes, family, we are live. Today, family, on the 20th of August, 2022. First of all, huge apologies. It's not easy for the carry out and live stream there, but like I can always say, we're extremely happy that we dey do what we dey do. As long as we continue for bringing information to the Sierra Leonean people. The only disadvantage is when you're late, because there are so many ongoing programs, so you cannot put your time. If you miss them, it can take a while for it develop. But notwithstanding, we know say people gradually go gravitate towards the platform because undoubtedly the platform is one of credibility. The platform is one of news, real news, with Salon people in Wayegi. So once again, we are 20 minutes late into the program. So me huge apologies to Una. Having said this, today, the 20th of August, this na 10 days after a bloody protest in which the reports where we gather over 20 some more people and 25, 26 people, Sierra Leoneans, not just people, Sierra Leoneans lost their lives. And this includes 5 police officers, apparently in their discharge of their duties, got caught up and were killed. But in as much as we share sorrows and condolences with the family of the police people who were in active duty, we do the same with the ordinary civilians because, after all, the police are charged with the responsibility of taking care of the civilian population. So we really express condolences to all the people and we lost their lives. Not one particular, group of people where we want hold in high esteem above the others. I find that very unfair, very disingenuous, and very unpatriotic. But that's my view. That's no one else's view, and I take responsibility for that. Today, like I said, na the 10th day since we lost so many people in the country. But it not just come as a matter of a knee-jerk reaction. It's as a consequence of many things we've been on to happen prior to 2018. 2018. If I remember that timeline, the 2018 elections take place, and there was a change of political parties na power. In other words, the All People's Congress lost power after 10 to 11 years in power, and a new beginning was ushered in. A beginning that most Sierra Leoneans been get hope for. Say this new beginning, especially with mantras where we hear, such as a new direction. Because remember, say, in the streets of Freetown and other places in the country, there were massive turnout of crowds, singing Tolongo Nogo Sidoya. We all remember that Angry Boku. But can you imagine what a far cry from yesterday to today? We get a very special guest. We not strange the annals of social media. He's got a voice out there and a very powerful voice. In fact, this is now one of the reasons that we invite him on the platform today for can help we for understand a brief history as to who's how we come on, who's how we did, how we arrive, who's how we did, and what in the future holds. It don't appear on this platform before, but it was under the somebody else interview him, super maybe interview him. But today I get the opportunity for interview him and I go introduce him soon. So family, what I ask una for do at this point in time is for let we understand who's how we been come out, how we develop the narrative, we come to August 10, that fateful day on August 10, where a riot broke out in the city as a consequence of a protest, which became bloody and then the loss of lives. So we can help we for understand this. We go also talk about other things them inside parliament. In other words, the APC opposition inside parliament. So dear, una let una act selfish. Let we shape this and let we ask other people and for can join. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the TNN TV Media Empire. I'm your host and presenter, Prince Emil Koma. Don't touch that dial. Just before I introduce the guest, just some quick housekeeping rules. I believe, say, even though foreigners and they watch the program the vast majority of us will watch the program as Sierra Leoneans from all kind of backgrounds. And we intention, I believe, is for a better Sierra Leone, despite the approach. So we all not get the same thought process. We think in different way. We are looking at the countries from a different direction. But I believe say we want a good Sierra Leone. So in as much as I encourage a debate, even at the chat room, Usai normally can be very active. I want for let we keep and respectful. Anybody breaking away from those norms where you go and attack the guest in a manner uncalled for, including myself, the host, in a manner uncalled for. In other words, then raw invectives the way they can throw not they tolerate on this platform, then you'll be missing a good portion of the show because you'll be kicked out. Many, many thanks. So we guest today is none other but a man whose name is has resonated in the living rooms, in the kitchen, in parlors, as we call them, Sierra Leone, then parlor them. Everybody picking him also sabi the name. And when I say this, I am not mincing my words. I talk out of absolute fact. Is none other but Comrade Koita. Comrade Koita, I'm very proud for host you for the very first time on the TNN platform. And I want to say a huge welcome, and I want to tell you thank you for taking up the opportunity where we send an invite to you for appearing at the platform. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much, Prince. Mr. Van, this opportunity for tell you thank you, and the TNN, none of the platform we don't help for educate people more in the diaspora for now we understand exactly within our country in problem in the future. Because as you started this introduction, say one two can miss us alone because we always forget how we come out, and until we check who's how we come out, we know how we did, then that will tell you what in the future lies. Because many times alone we fickle-minded, we forget, and so many times we listen for your and not to understand. So if you get at anything here, you look at what's happening, because the people where the elites them, the few elite them where they feel say then the elites more especially when no gas to na diaspora go that kind of mentality. Me na bookman na brother me don't they care that in look at people and the narrow-mindedness with the level of education, the exposure, all mixed inside. They're able to turn the country to this over 60 years ago. Saloon come up from the better to the worst, because before independence, Saloon may better pass so. Early independence is better pass so. Now you look at long independence 60 years ago, to get will just stay still, not even move any step forward into one go before. Somebody will go that way back to the nation. So we got to understand the problem first. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This could be a convention for we educate ourselves. At least we will understand how we come out, and we know how they go, then we can get a better future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Wow. The Comrade Koita has just set the pace, because this is exactly the platform, and this is exactly what you want for left family understand, and this is exactly what you'll be known to do. I want to begin this program, Comrade Koita, by playing a short clip. I hope I'm able to play this clip. It's very important for this show and future shows.
Shepherding this very extremely difficult process to a very successful end. I want you to know that we have honest review as us all, and to show you and every member of your government that I will make sure that I continue from where you came from, and that you can be assured of my support as and when you need me, and to also let you know that you have done a good job, and I want to step in your shoe and continue this job. I also want to let the world and this country know that the politics of hatred, adversarial politics in particular, should come to an end. You and I know that we are not at war. You won the last time, you've completed, and you did not contest. I unfortunately I cannot see my brother here, Dr. Samora Kamara. I would have loved to see him here, but I'm just here to assure you that I will ensure that peace stability and security continues in this country.
Wow.
We are not here for witch hunting. Quite a lot of people are scared. They have no reason to be scared. This is part of democracy, and they can rest assured that Sierra Leone is for us all. And
I most welcome you. I want to assure you that as former president, I will always be there.
So I will stop on for now. And now the most important part stand there anyway, because now the incumbent and the incoming, now them you been kind of they talk now the video, but what's important now the speech by President Bio when he meets the former president, the outgoing president, and it's by Koroma. Many things said there, and assurance is given. Comrade Koita, your thoughts on that video, both in the then and now?
Thank you so much, Prince. So what people understand as alone is sincerity. When somebody talk from in heart, the way they talk in mean it is different from when somebody talk for please the listeners. President Bill been they say fine statement them, fine words them, but not from in hearts. It been just one for like the world CC. This they can't take the country from this point. Let's go back in 2007 when President Nkrumah win the 2007 election, when he engaged in predecessor win at Tijankaba. He tell us, I know they come for which hunt you, then they can't take from who say stop from your good work. We see where you come. There are a lot of things that will be happening, including maybe go hold for corruption because the government by then was corrupt. From after the war, the money expect for the DDR, nothing not been doing work for even the military they serve. But because he been getting focused and no one for let take the country because coming with hunting people calling their names, you know how they achieve what he achieve so. Will not see he ever go any side he call the predecessor Anyampi. Like what President Bill do, will not see go any side he call in government Tipman government like what President Bill do. Will not see that even the government transitional team reporting President Nkrumah wouldn't do it at that time. Will not see them go to state house, quick at television, read them for demonize people and tribalize them. The good thing David Francis do, women who call professor. So say that word by them, they will see the actions of the current president. From arresting opposition members, calling them all type of names, including the former president, drag them into this, do all kind of things from Ayampi, tipman them, hold them, passport them, seize them, benefit them, begin freeze people them houses their way them don't build for this time. Like Michael Luba, the former late education minister, imposed on the bill from within a UK the study, then go pull in family day forcefully. Late Momo content, imposed on the bill from within abroad, then go pull in Mama day over 8 years old, maybe pull and day. So the words been very beautiful. But the actions out is today. So because of the actions not match the word, now it will get this kind of tension from when we in 2018 when we would escalate tension because President Bill's statement, it was very good. It very fine. So they come, they will trust nobody, this time politics and take from you. And they are short policy, they can't take from the good of the former presidents. Just after we see them begin say the APC not do nothing, the former president not do nothing. Then he begin condemn them every time we don't see that. If you be go to that thing day, you take that drive day, May it already see the August 10th protest.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for that. Subsequently, you yourself, you fall foul of the law. You were apprehended, and I wonder whether you were able to tell me the story. This led to your incarceration now the notorious Pademba Road prison, along with other high-value prisoners. I just want to use this opportunity as my first time for talk to you because I know your remaining narratives, both from you yourself and from others. I wonder what things transpire leading up to your arrest, how you pass inside a jail where you've been there with a high-value prisoner them, especially at a critical time when the prison itself came under attack. I wonder what thing they go through your mind at the time.
Let me take this opportunity on behalf of me and everybody there for extend we sympathy to a fallen hero, brother Evangelist Samson. We died in the same cause. We myself from be victim of maybe 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago. Well, as some of we stand for the truth, when President Bill win election in 2018, of course, I make my mind. I say I know the Wokuta because I know the man historically. I know in background what been on the revolution and see how they take the country. I know see Salonge for this speak with this today. So me no able to abide by some of the things we are for do like obeying unlawful orders, still be not to do in the past, who knows it not be genuine. somebody don't be instructor for 14 years, they teach both na the police, the military, maybe sometimes if prison get something come, will go help. So I know the my character and I resign. And when I resign, I tell them, see, I need to keep quiet and they come back. I sit down. If anything then do one who say they're against the rules, then I'll come out. And exactly the first time I ever begin talking, the first time they go kill out one of my 91. As I begin see that unnecessary use of firearms, I made my first audio. I say it's worrisome for life at this time. After all the training hold on that go tell you say, in as much as the engagement will affect your right to self-defense, but I say probably the last resort. For Lord just see, then just appear and fast civilian and say, worrisome. I give that check. So since then, I become targets for the government, which I not ever hesitate. Then it continue like that. Then go kill them, chunk on the mountain and kill somebody, and they make an audio for condemn the act and tell them the rules of engagement. What's in the rules of engagement say of what I go to for do who the carry arms as alone. Say you camp and foster. Foster you know people be a go in blows with lima. Na media na you like you know you want politicians that say no. You know, get that for politics. If you look paragraph 1 or 2, ROE tell you say it is affect your right to self-defense. But however, firearms will be the last resort. Like, taking the limit, say go to paragraph 3 because we train a second lieutenant to train this lieutenant in school. Say you go only fire when someone is committing a crime or about to commit a crime and act likely to endanger human life. When someone is committing a crime or about to commit a crime and act likely to endanger. If it's somebody commit crime in danger, nobody left until they broke holes in the stone glass, in the stone motoka, you need to kill them. If somebody get cutlass, you want to go chap person, you know, say if you know fire, you kill the person then because they endanger human life. Then we'll argue. Then from there, then make all kinds of things, me retire and not be hand over my weapon. We don't go get weapon them from former president, no sponsor me. I don't cause rebel them. I don't cause mercenaries them. I was declared wanted. People let's run away. Me, now me self grab go for myself. I say now me that could be Koita. Now I'm look for because I know say I not go to the ask for. I've been pleased say that alone after I didn't go release me. But when I go to the prison, I was charged with 9 count charge by then the first one for lawful possession of arms and ammunition. Then charge different fearful charge them. So passion, me was survive the state. Then they're gonna go and search and not say nothing. I was taken to Panama Road. In as much as they not see, I not get nothing. They write to the army tell us I'll be resigned and they approve me, then I hand over everything. I was still taken to Panama Road. I did a couple of months. I'm going to court on March 17. I was acquitted and discharged. Then I was rearrested again. Then now from 9 count now to 25 count charge. Again, of different things them as well. Maybe interfere upon that, my fire. And I say no, I not interfere upon the investigation. I just said the action was wrong. Then I was charged with perverting the cause of justice and the same charge again on lawful possession of arms and ammunition. So many charges them. I'll go again for 25 count charge. Well, it was tough. It's been difficult. Imagine if you don't commit crime, then I just defend the poor boy. Well, I have no regret in being for that lock me for that particular thing because I know say now me right for talk what I talk. I cannot talk anything against the law. I just tell them say this is wrong. Then tell me the lecturer and the army say if you want fire somebody, you get for mixture say you get full right for fire. Not just for use you hand the trigger. Like could be not do in the 90s, but not be no. We not be get level of training and understanding say it be wrong. So they not be trying because of that because they not say will not be trained. But I tell them, keep telling them, say if it's a German or policeman fire out somebody, you will be tried. Because now if they inside the training manual, where they train person from civil, they turn and laws they say when and how you fire. When you go warranty for fire somebody, talk less for kill somebody. So we had then a CID again for a couple of weeks, then take me as from CID to Panama Road without them not charging me to court. I was taken from CID to Panama Road after Paulo Duncan joined me at CID on the 20th of March. Then I come back to Panama Road for a second time. This time it's different. This time it be really tough for me to go to Panama Road. Me and Paulo Conte 9 months in prison and not ever set my eyes on sir. If you the only time I go see na do na for inside the prison mutuka go na court from court come back inside cell for 9 months.
Wow. What a story. 9 months. Now be solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement. In matter of fact, I spent 270 days in solitary confinement. It's 270 days.
Goodness me.
270 days. I not ever see sun. In fact, even the country time when me lab the complaint, see the court give a court order for make the commander do at least for go see sun. The prison through the government then refuse them. Me even me own judge now give court order. They refuse. In my fact, me one in a jail. They even come to a point, I'll be the only inmate for 4 who will be doing a top, high profile detainee. I'll be the only person they ever talk about. They put me completely incommunicado. They never talk to me on radio, not newspaper, not television, nothing. Even if I go court, and by right, anybody with a high profile detainee, if you go court, for every sitting, they for put on a paper, they for put on a radio. All my company, they talk about the case, the Rami, Paulo, Bomio case, being completely because it was an instruction from state house, say, therefore keep me incommunicado. The thing, Salon injustice is so much that, and because of the fear, people are not going to up and challenge. Now, me could do all this today. Why some of us say, if even would die for the cause of challenging injustice, so be it. Because me, I go and philosophy say, before I die for nothing, before I live for nothing, let me die for something. Because one day, if you die for something, they must remember for that you die for. Like if there's something, you don't like to remember that because you say you're not thief, you're not rape. He has never been declared wanted. They're not kill him inside protest, then kill him because they know say now somebody they talk like me. So if I've been in at the scene, they've been do the same thing to me. If you've been in at the scene, they've do the same thing to you. So each and every Sierra Leonean, and this thing, no, they just go for APC. This they go for SLPP too, because government go for change. If the government change tomorrow, they will kill that is all for SLPP because they oppose APC. We saw the head for. So it's high time what to have a challenge. I can tell you, Panema Road was peaceful until me Palo contact against Panema Road. It was very peaceful. In fact, now 4 cells which in Panema Road. The first day we go to jail, they take me and Paulo in the cell 1, maybe cell 5, and remind. Then clean the entire remind for me and Paulo. The second day they take go an old female in the cell 1, maybe cell 2. The third day they go na Clarkson in the cell 18, maybe cell 16. In this one, all to go in the build fence. Me important for the inside cell, remember Panema Road get fence, Clarkson, then get side, they can't build fence inside Clarkson and divide and seal the place. Only they see sand. For nothing to do this with a light. Meeting at the cell, at the sleep at the cell, they use the well. They're not even proving I don't say well, come on well. Then the well decide, small side for sea ventilation, and can't well dig it. I was inside my cell. Then the well decided for look say would see small sea ventilation or air, then can't put up. Then they tell me say for mosquito, I say no, I say this one not a mosquito, this one will punish me now. Because I mean I say that the thing already get there, so I can't add that thing again. So for long, no, let the place not clear. I say no, it's a punishment, not for mosquito. This is a punishment. I would say sell who they sell them the Panema Road at this 21st century, they don't get toilets. And they tell you the entire jail, now just Clarkson, I think 12 block get toilets, small toilets and building side. It can overflow at all time. We don't need a jail, Paulo yourself overflow. The prison manager, James can see the toilet overflow. You know, pull and forward. For God, for once, see, let me Paulo sleep on cell. The left and the toilet overflow inside in cell, sleep the till the morning. It's not on top of that in the it happens at jail. We within a jail, the first 28 days we eat for every 24 hours, we eat 110. Then we eat food 12 o'clock today, past tomorrow 12 o'clock in the afternoon. For 28 days.
Wow.
So it begins for top. But we're comfortable with being part of the polish until they turn the thing out to the inmate them, where they make them discount to my brother. We did a jail attachment part of the because we were from 7 o'clock till 7 in the morning to cost mama. There's now don't make the jail don't tight. So we begin worried. We begin worried to say this thief they go. So me, I personally raised that in a court to my lawyer and say the jail don't become very uncomfortable for me and Paulo. I say because in the time the jail man now, like the board and the CC will go and they don't tell like a cost to them because they stop family visits, they lock the shop with them, they buy them cigarettes, all that in them, buy them water. So like even the worker now with the CC, you are on pressure because you work among like me that be 1,476 inmates. You work among over 1,000 inmates. Then they see you as a threat, they're going to cost you, so your life become more danger than ever before. So everything for make the end of life in prison, then do them. It's just that God not been created, God not see that be just an advantage. Imagine we been there 1,476. Every inmate be there against me Paulo past few. Every inmate say now don't make the jail don't tight. Every inmate the cost woman for the rest of the night. Every inmate in the feel safe, something happening for kill me. Like just that God say we time not reach it.
What a story, man. Not many people will survive that, Comrade Koita. Just before I move on to another aspect of this conversation, while one for let we hold, you in your opening statements, you say something which just catch me mind, where you mentioned Evangelist Samson and also a dire warning to the ruling party and the potential say powers can change hand, which is very true. These are philosophical statements. You think that there's a deliberate attempt, or so I try to understand, but correct me if I'm wrong, on the part of government for silent the voices of dissenters, people that way they express then constitutionally given rights, like cost of living, itranga, and people that would definitely get for say itranga. Now it seems like those voices, there's an intention for silent them, including yours, now Evangelist Samson, and many others. You think that there's a deliberate attempt?
It's the deliberate attempt, brother. Not to even this one is these are the circumstances facts. What it make them for target somebody with the criticize government, where they can do objective criticism. To where them enjoy maybe 10 years ago they enjoy the SLPP, then they oppose like no, I just give you an example like Alpha said to Bangura. We all know the statement we make against former President Nkrumah. He go na freedom inside APC. No, but not succeed herself. He didn't Eastern. Who's in an APC stronghold? No, but no, cannot, but not beat them. How many of the members and they're not targeting the South East, don't beat, they don't kill, they don't rape, including the South Alamin. They rape and job because they vote for APC. Like allow. How many people in the who's in the board? How many APC people in the government talk about APC inside Kenima? Inside Kala, don't you say a whole district chairman is say like Kenima, nobody for oppose SLPPD. So it not be a deliberate one, not to make me go to prison. I'm not going to prison because I see I know who could present you. I'm going to prison because I can't challenge them in the wrongdoings, especially in the security sector. Where I tell them, I say, no, this is wrong. We don't get an army, we don't train, they don't carry structure the army for tell you, see, what they do 20 years ago during the war, it be wrong. We all are a victim of anything a day for use unnecessary firearms. It be wrong. Some of we then train, then make one instructor for train who small American after we say, this thing will be happy during the war, it's wrong. They not be try the army because the China say the army will not be get adequate training to that level about the loss of armed conflict, the transfer of material loss them. So the army will not try you. But this time around, then try each and everybody will get individual crime committing. You will commit the crime, they try you. Then the army give the order, then try too. So we get collective responsibility. President Bio know this very well. They know that here because that the government is power the structure of the army. Now SLP and they call the IMAT, we train each and everybody. Now SLP called the police, where they take his video and it's called the force for good. So then what happens today, to me, it's unimaginable. Alpha would then mean that by government, so they happy. Then they precisely them, they are government, so they happy. So for them can under the 10 or they not see that them count then here for say, loud training soldiers them, so that what may happen, they happen again. Then don't now they use the military and the police in this kind of level, even during the MPRC days, I not see this type of fruitlessness from the military at all. I don't see this type of fruitlessness from the police at all. Even the MPRC days, during the AP system when we were born, I don't see this type of policing. I've been in this, I served Salon for 28 years in the security sector. I did during the war and I did after the war. So I know the level of how they behave, and I know how they behave now. This one is unimaginable. For all get an army where they see a whole brigadier, they give instructions, they go, in the fire, one great person. If they go instead of arrest them, we all know see military men, they only participate when they see when crisis don't go to the worst. In fact, we call it MacP, they call it military to civil power. And the only person where they invoke MacP, not the president, not even the vice president. Neither the only person we get that for invoke the MacP. So for them even invoke MacP in the absence of the president, it's wrong. It's wrong. So the president when I on duty, you know, be the way he go, we'll see they not kill Samsi during the MacP time, then kill Samsi after the non-lifting curfew. A whole brigadier. Now he lead the troop for them. So that tells you is that a deliberate action, not to Samson no more. They want to kill Samson, not to Samson that one. They want silence it and every other person. So person will not say, if me say talk, I will be victim. We want for prepare for that. So it's a deliberate ploy by the government for silence.
Significant between during if they been kill during the curfew, and now we know say they kill after the curfew has been lifted. Waiting at the significant, I just don't get it. If you can educate me on this.
Fine. Now one will see. When this protest happens, the government, they don't label one. This is not the first step. The president and the government label certain region and certain people as terrorists. They say the people living at Freetown, the northwest, and the APC people they are terrorists. They don't talk in so many cases when they pull and grab for their own right to for protest for their own right. They don't care about the what lead to the protest. Now, who said the protest happened? They don't care about the protest happened at Freetown and the north and the northwest. That's their own argument. Not what made the protest to. Now, who said happy? Then they care about. Now they force you wrong. Then if I've been doing the protest time, maybe then go kill us and encounter about protest, or maybe something about protest and kill them. Therefore, be able to see maybe if he gunshot me up. Or if I've been curfew, therefore be less in the kitchen in the light or that thing, or therefore be the excuse. But they not kill the man during protest, not kill him during curfew, then kill him in the broad daylight, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The man sit outside the kitchen, normally they keep time. They come. Just because he was an identified object, they not set him up. as in camp, in no say na be target like me say this strong as soldier or police. I go try for them go see me guys. Me no go run. If I be me, I need run because you know say they don't get out of the they arrest me, chemical, or then do people say people do. But in as a civilian, young boy, it's he want escape the arrest, then if the two escapes, he like no be go kill me. Then as he run, they take an opportunity. Hope if I can tell you not to one shot, not to one shot the fire something. Not to one shot. The why find an open rapid fire panel. Now me could say something body, then it only the better quick because we get for proof beyond all reasonable doubt. Because even at the laws of armed conflict say you need is no more force or rounds than it's absolutely necessary. You don't find with 1 rounds around that. There is no need for put 2 rounds on top of the body. Now crimes against humanity. So for let them go steal that person, do the broad daylight to curfew, they don't lift the curfew, not to see an end not to do in the protest. He has never been declared wanted, dead or alive, then go kill him. That tells you how the government hunts for people like we, where they talk. Imagine Samson not supposed to hit on government so hard. He's just busy on the APC, try for the problem or still happy in a saloon. If in America, me now where I hang by the security, the police, the military, the ONS, what's in for me? RPG for use on top me or jets. If in like you where they use chance, where they use people like for talk, what's in for use by result and a ghost ship. Imagine to that level at this 21st century, people will say like say. They will see a whole civil society. Joseph Sano, they make a video, let the man die go. Imagine.
Exactly.
Just because they don't tribalize the country. I mean, man, we need to talk. I need to talk. I'm not all this tribal. We can only fight tribal. All point tribalism. They call it point racism now. The only way to make tribalism known as alone. All point them out. You guys are tribal. If you just not to be Mende man, you need to happy for let's say let them kill them go. You make an audio, not to be talking for them. It's now my saying that equal self-suicide. That probably say they for talk for the poor people. Therefore, condemn an act of violence. Let me tell you something. I condemn each and every act of violence that happened during August 10.
Absolutely.
Including the brutal killing of their police brothers. Because it gave me a bad reflection. That day when I said they killed them police and I remember 1998. But equally, go and listen to the audio so I don't do for this year. So why they want to say, if we not be careful, they see a repeat of 1998. Because maybe not be a victim. We'll see, we'll company because the people don't get angry of the behavior of the military, of the police, when the air fancy fall. Then kill the brother, not just kill them, burn them, chaps on them, because the people will not become angry with we. Then say, but instead of protect them, now they fire them, you go see German party, you don't broken food. So when they tell me for themselves revenge, then it happened. What will lead to the killing of the police officer? Now when that always will kill Port Johnson, two protesters, people become angry. So we condemn each and every act of violence, but let's check for the cause. Why the people are not become angry? How many police don't kill? From McKinney, from Tumbo, from Mile 91, from Lushar, from Tonkelimba, including Pademba Road, where Ali first started the fire. So all this don't happen. Government not make a single statement. In fact, when they kill Pulen, the president said that terrorists and kill McKinney. They not get respect for human beings. So if the people encounter a point, when they say, you know what, I would also for all these years, if we get opportunity for Tonam, the innocent policeman nine go die. That police will not be whole God where they go in peace. Because the people are angry, they say the police need to protect them. So you be now where's it now? You be anybody wearing uniform that day. You left that at least who don't face and do 90s. And I don't see apart so many times of produce them, but the one they say, Una stop, Una the council, Una a young about them. You don't come after the war, you're not so two face. Who don't see them here physically in 1998 when they chase we get gone wrong on a bush because the people power increase and people in power. We hold gone on a bush. We shoot kept and so I've said this time and again in my audios. There's too much killing. I see one day we got the people and without this killing, they go revolt. Because who say I kill them all. So they go for say nothing before I kill all when I kill all wanted. When to that point, now when they run away because when small, how many police? How many soldiers? You get 3-4 million people left. No one they run. You will kill, but no kill everybody. I've said this in time and again. Stop this unnecessary use of firearms. For God's sake, they say when you go for go hot protest, engagement. Now the first one tell you engage the people. Won't see the army when they be professionally. See when I see them beat kill soldier man, they beat them no because then go and say no can fire, we can for Tona. Then at the first they say engagement, engage as much as they can. Okay. Then they say, and after we don't feel, then you don't feel, don't do all things, if we can't use the firearms. But the civilians equally we sympathize to anybody, but the cause. Let's go to the cause first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why, in the absence of an investigation, we for stop, for help for stoke, controversies. But the president was supposed for lead, I mean, now they say certain things them way really is really pathetic. Let's be honest, because he not the daddy for the nation. Supposed for the preach peace, but it seemed for don't run a counter investigation long before an independent investigation is set up for investigates the things that will lead up to the protest and what thing actually happened. Would that begin the violence? But again, it don't set the pace. But when it come to that, because we really get for talk about this protest, I mean, they look up at things them will lead up to the protest. So let me ask you view about the midterm census. What's your take, Comrade Koita, about this entire midterm census?
But let me tell you something. The midterm census, to me, we'll not get midterm census that we don't love us. We get census with that after every 5 years. And obviously, you say self, not everybody midterm census alone. I mean, not everybody. We'll not get an own constitution to get midterm census. We'll get census after every 5 years. The census first, where the count are wrong.
10 years.
And the parliament aid and a bit that census because we'll see first the first way they move forward and the parliament and do well, we'll see the challenge. From that, we'll not see any challenge given by the parliament, especially the opposition parties. Then what's happened, we'll just see the census don't go on. Though the president can't talk, say he gets unprecedented support by the members of parliament. He say they support him for let go about the census. Me, because I'm an APC paid up member, in fact, I'm an executive member at APC. I come out publicly and challenge me MP and say, if I know this man alive life on, when I come and challenge and say, we will not ever support. If I we not challenge him, I will not ever support him. We see happy. So if we even talk about midterm census, all the mistakes don't come from the parliament because from the first day they go fed na bitumani, case closed. We will not ever hear nothing again. The no reason the parliament may not ever hear nothing to say about the census happy. We look the census, even Masila Samba, we be say he said now that somebody gets we get campaign for good governance. He said they're not contact. The Kiromio say they're not contact. These are pulling for talks alone. But still see the competitive percent say that this is a census where we say 80% of people as alone they're not condemned. How you want to call a census? So you don't wrong from the beginning. Equally, the law say the president get for call for census anytime. But the law tell us say equally say he get for follow due process of the law, meaning if for pass through parliament, if for get the 2/3 majority, then for accept them before they call for census. So not see happy. We know if it happen behind the scene where president say they support them, but we the people not see happy. Not to be see the effect of it money. After that, no, anything happen again. So the parliament get the responsibility, especially the opposition party. Now, if I can't tell plenty, say, no, this census say I will not be able to approve them. Up to date, they refuse to say that in the. Up to date, they no can tell you say the president is statement will be say they support them, then they not support them. So if we see the census, so they argue so today, all they can be, the talk say census happy, census not happen. This is a confusion not come because the parliament will tell me say, who not ever agree for moving to money, they never count and that's a problem, my brother. That's the sacrosanct fact.
Thank you very much for that, Comrade Koita, for shedding more light on this, because I believe that what you say, it does make a lot of sense. Yes, in ordinary constitution, but the president get the prerogative. But even when you get the prerogative, there are procedures and processes where you get for go through, and we'll not see them procedures and processes, and all that one they help for stoke up more tension. But let me fast track and say they hold the census, the midterm census on their own. According to you, illegal, and by many other definitions, illegal because a huge percentage of the people were not counted. They're not mixed on the process, and they get a right for saying they're not mixed on the process. The census is meant to be a people census. In this case, it wasn't. So the president, they intend for use the result of the census, even though it been promised people and say this has nothing to do with politics. But then the result of the census now, we they not make. And they want to use them for do boundary delimitation. We go unfairly, disadvantage the opposition in terms of election and provide a clear advantage for the president and your own party. I wonder how you see this.
Well, you see, rigging is the start way before election. You did rig election way before the time. One of two way this SLPP party be in their mind, then they forget about the political landscape of Sierra Leone. Then they forget say now one set of the country, they then don't decide for all because why is it? Because the young tribe when are the mandate of specific, when are the majority of SLPP supporters in one area. And they're not gonna wait for let them get the majority of parliament if they not reduce some areas from the western area and from the north and the northwestern part of the country. Then they feel for LIC, the other tribes of the country come back in one area, like the northwest, then gets 90% of the other tribes in Asanu. Less Kono. If you put Kono, apart from the east, the only tribe within the southeast, you get the Kizi, you get the Mende, you get the Shabu. Because all other tribes they don't fall under Mende, they don't lost natural death, they all don't become Mende. So now coming back and they don't kind of come and see how even they try for pull 10 members of parliament, illegally, they still not able to get the majority way for make they able to do all that in a day. So one of the way they want to now for let them try for come, voter apathy for reduce people na free to Go talk see that in the history, me not see any district where they get a population more than the capital city. Say Kenima populated that Freetown. If you check the war, the one we come on at Kala, we come on at Kono, we come on at Kenima, we come on at Tongue, we come on at Pujo, we can't Freetown, so not come back again. Then just can't add say them born pikinity, the longer who's a day. May you know Freetown before this time, Calbaton are like, you may know Freetown before this time, even got it have been like a forest. But now all land that don't build, even the from Freetown to Waterloo don't join, then still say Kenima get population past Freetown. So because they want to reduce the voters and the parliamentarians from the western area and the northwest, that means the president emphasized they use this wire for lay it do ban the delimitation. And I tell you what to say, by law, constituency will only expire after 7 years from the census. That if you don't pass 7 years, then expire, meaning we not get constituency, we run inside one constituency. Would they upgrade constituency 5 years or 7 years? Will not 5 years it for me to last census, not 5 years it. They will not even begin this 5 years, talking for 7 years. So one two president will be one we make wise here. They want try for downsize the members of parliament at the western area and the northwest, where they give the young area edge. So they will get maybe 60% of the MP then go more from the southeast, Kenima, Bo, Pujon, Kailaun, Moyamba, and Bont. In as much as Bont, but it's so small that it still will get MP them past Bombali. The simple reason we make this president why use it here. Even forget say the parliament will still say the parliament, let me can say the parliament of Sierra Leone gets a responsibility for save this nation from this kind, would they see the high level of constitutional abuse in the history of Sierra Leone. These are the highest level would they see a president the abuse constitution to this way. A no respect for anything that constitution in just feel say if for those. They don't do the census. They say that just temporary results. Then they were used out for too bad the delimitation. So now a form of rigging. The rigging they start from that day on the spot and not rig the election. So from next to say President Bill no say the only for this election, now we want use this unprecedented census here. This one will be say illegal. Nobody no accept them. Even the foreign partners, the EU withdraw. The World Bank will spend the money, they withdraw the night of the census, they withdraw from the census, take the money. How you want make census? What thing they use for do the census? But then don't get this before this time. Then not, I say tribalizing institutions, then the problem. If people elect alone, we all think as Sierra Leoneans, we don't think as SLP or APC or as Northerners or Southeasterners or Westerners, my brother, we need to talk about the census because we think for the future. What thing they do so today? Now Albert Baga been doing 1964. If he say go succeed, if more 67 is a country, they can and then can go to a party state. So then they part another one party state again because if they lose election, trust me, APC party no voting for two pass SLP if they can't for sitting power for long. APC get the capability to don't see historically not to see that thing. Where APC can 1967, APC pulling the power. APC was in power for 50, 60 years in democratic way. They're going to vote the number of vote and they don't pull them. So we'll not encourage anybody for can say he wants to power by force. He can't make a foundation or APC. We'll go get election, but like South Africa, APC go just to win no more. They win no more. And we're not going to for all them. So now his high time now all challenge this year. No, allow anybody for can sit down for try use the power. Say he go win. If he can't lose now, we don't get trouble. Now but Baga do 1964. He lost election 67. Now he can go to one party state. We get for look at that here.
So, Comrade Koita, you make quite some important statements them in there. One or two of them will catch me in mind immediately. Now, the no regard by the president for democratic processes. And we don't see this time and time and again. And they say people enough for sit down and take this. When you say that, when you make that kind of statement and which I go agree with, but I don't know how will people then go about for resist that kind of thing and the way the president they undertake, the disregard for the law. What's in your advice? How should people go about that?
The first place we get the constitutional the first one the members of parliament.
Comrade, I don't know you audio low. I don't know whether not from his side.
You're not knowing that somebody come. I just don't reject okay. The first people they wait for challenge this tier at the House of Parliament because then they go interpret the Constitution to the president. My brother, let me just draw you the first thing we ever do that mistake who do and some of who be always challenge them. Now for allow us for law get a speaker of parliament, we need to they not follow the process of parliament for elect speaker. Voila, I'm also don't say wrong. Voila, the pull out challenge them. Then the second thing, by law say the MP the law be say for pulling it be right for pull the MP then say always and care for not be true, not to lie. But the law say we pull MP, what you do they say for do rerun election. We not get loan as alone say for go impose MP. If they pull MP in any constituency, either they pull him, either he has gone, either he died. Now what's happening? Election happen back in the constituency because the people for elect the person. How you go say somebody who gets 1,000 votes in the constituency who represents over 40,000 people? They say do real election. We accept say okay then pull them. What them pull out for do or they go election like 110. What them no say do I become second for that election in NGC? They not pull candidate so. They say let them do let them do rerun of the same case. The same to them pull them for then they do election for 110. So imagine if they can do election 110 of the same thing, both have they say they fed, they say violence, they rigging, then they pull them for. And the Davis was removed, but in the Senate for the election because the NGC win the seat, then become second. Now we say SL become second at Freetown, they say let them go swear. Imagine. So because double standard. So why do not take the same route against the well? If we do election 110, also if man they let them win. We also say 110 and do election in the first and the whole minister they go broke the ballot box, they still go win by vote, them not again this time around, no win no day. Because they no see now they don't go impose problem. So for them say we started missing the point from that area day. When they put the MP that day, people they follow challenge that the MP they force, but they follow challenge and say no. We need to sit down at parliament to somebody we not vote for. Let them go do election. So all angle and the judiciary, let me tell you something, my brother. I don't say this time and again. I'm fortunate for be part of policy we been within the United Nations. I work within them for when they make the laws here. Check, go to the TRC report. There are different causes of the 1991 civil law, but the main cause when they put, let's say the police and the judiciary, the main cause of the 1991 civil law. Look at the judiciary today. In fact, the worst past in the 60s. Now the worst. Because now they see that they give somebody bail like a Marima Masari, court they get bail, the judge they get bail, the chief justice say no, they're not from the farm. Magistrate say now order from above. Imagine somebody, every case available offense, including treason and murder. It depends on the person where you get the case. If in a high risk to the society, now I need level. But like Commander Masari, not to high risk to society. So every case an available offense, then get bail. They say no. Me Comrade Koita, Paulo Conte about Julius Abokadrami. One fall that category. In fact, Abokadrami about the 11 months jail without indictment. 11 months from when they pull a magistrate court for case where magistrates say they not see evidence, they send a spirit trial without indictment. 11 months. Paulo Conte, they sentence for crime we not commit. The man not get unlawful. You get pistol license and say for lawful weapon. So you see the judiciary now, it don't become more worse than ever before. Ali Foster was shot 9 foot. The magistrate don't ever give him bail. He didn't say one time. Remember this man, the APC for humanity secure their bail. So they see how the judiciary misbehave. Look at the police today. How many people you see police they kill for day? How many unlawful arrests they happen every day? How many? So you see, the report of the TRC was just right. Say the police and the judiciary now don't get it like the neck, like the statistics, like the PPRC, like the parliament, like the ONS, all don't join now together. They all don't decide because they did not be there. Now they all don't join. Look what the parliament do. All this will sit up in the parliament. You know that like when they go make shoot at club and they make fun. Two way matter they talk up. Two way serious and they emphasize on them. So all don't kind of now. So for the next report now, we include all that scenario that the cause of NGO government as alone, which means say time again for me. We do as if something happened. We begin from the parliamentarians, all parliamentarians of all political parties. Not only APC, also SLP, all of them. They all commit the same crime because you self in SLPP, you are not representing from you go to parliament, you represent your party, you represent the people of Sierra Leone. You go there as political party, but when you enter you represent the country now because the laws when they make then they make or polish this country. So they have responsibility for challenge, then get the humility for that matter self. For say no, I can challenge government by this time. I'm member of parliament. By law, he did it. Section 91, I think. We're getting the right for talk anything at parliament without any trial. He did it. They get the humility for challenging here. We don't know any court of law. It is just a long constitution. What's in the need? It is deliberate. They're all in and a bit bad governance because they're comfortable. Their family are comfortable. Then they eat for money. Then they go say they want for go. They come here for medical for the purpose they don't get a chance. They are aiding and abetting. We say at this point in time, parliament the talks let them pay them $50,000 for medical. And what's about that person in that village?
Yes. Look at that video, and I get like dozens more na me archive, and then you wonder instead of police they do community policing. How come the relationship between those who are tasked with taxpayer money for serve and protect, the relationship don't become so toxic with the general public that when opportunity presents itself, you see the people their animosity extended towards the very police. Comrade Koita, you make quite some good cases there. And of course, we gradually they flow into the parliament. But I want to keep you on the same boundary delimitation. The constitution is clear on this. Is it my understanding that they say now the duty of parliament now for come inside this entire conversation regarding the law and how to interpret the law? Because when it comes to boundary delimitation, the Constitution, I believe, na section 33, subsection 5 of the 1991 Constitution, it clearly say, before you pass anything regarding that, there should be a 2/3 majority, so not a simple majority. And there are many more clarities on the Constitution. Now, other irresponsibility at this time for ensure say the Constitution take precedent over anything else.
The parliament and the opposition in the parliament. If they call the parliament, and the opposition in the parliament will call because the ruling party they already want to because the advantage on the advantage. Let me tell you this here, all over the world, if you support get integrity, most ruling party MPs only support the trade happen within the count because it takes as an advantage. For now, the person will get the responsibility for challenge this tier, the leader of the opposition in parliament. Let me tell you something. I can draw countless examples in the parliament. We get some people they know what they sort. We see a whole MP like Mara, they write instead of they caution the president for corruption, he write against Afghanistan presidency in statement to put against the president to true. Just because Afghanistan president pull this PR system where the man use force. He say he no say not even true. This is MP. The same MP we talk say one time Facebook, same Facebook we use. He say always say Afghanistan president say not true. We not ever see the MPs from the opposition. This is make it very clear. Nor ever raise the Afghanistan president issue in a serious manner at the parliament. In fact, someone AKK is about personal opinion. Imagine. Opinion where president go to fortune in Japan, there's an opinion. It didn't have Afghanistan president release. Opinion where president involved team business, there's no opinion. Opinion where the first lady tip money until the Afghanistan president until the interview to he say, well, now they get the money from state house. So by law, the office of the first lady know this cycle, so they stated responsible for them. There's no opinion. We don't ever see with them ever count them as a serious conversation. Opposition party, now make opposition for checks and balances. Now, opportunity I look for any afternoon I hit government. Why this happen? There's no opinion. So let me tell you, if this neck they say to go this year, now all who will MP they're accountable. Now I'm not approve them because if you don't approve parliament, my brother, they use them. If you not approve them, they ever use them until parliament get a 2/3 majority before talk about delimitation. Who said they get the power? Now who said they use them? Maybe that's when they say this place protest sit at home. Oh, no. But we no confirm something I know say don't do it. But if you accept no say, it that's the truth. Because when we get sit at home, parliament been decided. We not get access for no say for. So who said they get the authority? Let parliament can tell me say no, we in the parliament will not be ever approve them, we not approve them. And not just for me. Let me tell you something, my brother. Now the responsibility for come out and talk. Then for go to radio station, they get the for go to BBC, they get for call the people like going say, look, who no agree.
Yeah.
This is to keep quiet politics anymore. Election not if I again. Restriction they near. So how this man will get tell say, then they use that is only for do delimitation where the parliament will not get to stop the majority. And Abbas want to make it very clear. My brother, for every alter in the constitution that treason. If you even pull comma that the constitution, pull full stop it, we full stop for it. Not treason. So if you then use this tier, not to say no more, not to say that the next man don't commit the treason of the parliament, including the opposition people, they all don't commit the same offense because we hold accountable tomorrow. There is no way. What will the law will keep quiet by this year? And there's no way they will put this by the opposition. And there's no way they will put this up and check when the leader of the opposition. No way they will pull up. Because we are talking about meaning it's called NGC for see. We'll not see how they do. The NGC is a breaker from SLPP. So some of them today, if you can't pack they go back home. See for see the leader that SLP origin, employer minister. So you go support employer inside. They forget for we don't see the party on the divide. The one part of C4C, they for the one part they against. So the party will say then for they against them all like APC. So if the APC failed their responsibility, that's how we call them out. And if we get for challenge bad governance, and the APC and the main opposition party, and the majority of the parliament, 49, my brother, or 50, they're not going to give you any excuse. There's no excuse for challenging unconstitutionality, my brother. If there's nothing early, there's nothing late. Then for challenging, what's wrong today, wrong. So Cherry Coco and the leader of the opposition and the APC, then get the responsibility now for letting them make sure say this thing not happen because this thing not good for democracy and this is the first form of rigging. Now the first form of rigging is when they start an election. We're not going to say they're not making the election. So if they fail their responsibility, meaning they're all in and a bit, they're nothing happen. When they keep quiet, meaning they know.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Famulem, we talk to Comrade Koita, a man with vast with the politics of Salon, and then they open with eye to different things. And at this particular point in time, I'm really happy that we YouTube platform they grow in terms of live viewership. They don't surpass the Facebook viewership. As we speak now, we get over 100 people they watch now YouTube. We be secondary to with Facebook page. With Facebook page now being the number one. So we get over 200 and some more people to watch. But on Facebook, we get just over 80. But with YouTube page, also with Future Live is growing, and I'm very, very pleased with this. Comrade Koita, the ECSL and NEC, they're all day hand and foot inside this entire thing. But everything they emanate from Parliament, and you make one critical point again where you say any alteration, because the Constitution is clear about that one day, it requires something like a referendum. The people have to be involved. You have to take this thing to the people again for participate. But despite the seriousness of waiting they go on, because there's constitutional alteration they take place, and they clearly say there has to be a 2/3 majority, and then when a need for taken to the people, just like you say, opposition need for go on radio and talk, but they are not doing any of this. Do you foresee say this therefore actually be the outcome, or are people going to stand up against this thing from not happening? What's your take, Comrade Koita?
Well, at the still for CC, the government still they try for call problem out, because if the government in any way they say they force this thing, the people will say it's unconstitutional. Maybe to know that we allow them for letting do something we get for about future for tomorrow. We have to call problem out. But we say you find it more difficult. This time around, we don't want for let me and you call people want to see political actions. Make political party leaders take the leadership for calling people out. I don't say this here, now you own single, I see this platform that each and every body is already in a constituency. Freetown is divided into different constituencies. The north team goes to the north and northwest and western either, or south or east. This time around, if it is sincere, the MP they don't say they know the in and a bit. May they say the owners and tell the government, see, if you say we don't want to do this here, we call you people out, now we lead the process this time around. Let it be a political action. Let us see the APC politicians, including the members of parliament. Let them go to the people and say, we don't talk in the parliament, we don't tire, we don't bulldoze, we want add bulldoze by the constitution, say, let them put a day. They can't me don't let them add up by the laws of Syria, because they want to take as an excuse, say, government bulldoze. You don't get bulldoze in a law, my brother. And laziness on your part. Now laziness on your part for the say government bulldoze. You just like say, if somebody pull, if a man pull money, give woman for cook, the man go say, the Japanese one, let me cannot cook today. No, cook out in day. They don't say like go cook beef. You know money buy beef. Not buy beef. If you have fish, you buy. If you have only support, I make a let the eat. Not give laziness. Cook out in day. Challenge for challenge. Laziness for say bulldoze we. So if you see the parliamentarians is dumb, then no go back to the pool, because let me tell you, the law make it very clear. If the president don't do a proclamation, they can't. Your office don't do. They can't to parliament. If the parliament accept them, now the office don't do. Waiting for agreements and we the people them, they forgot that to be a referendum. Now, only referendum, let me give an example. This UK, when they say, for like Scotland come under UK, Parliament approve also, that's okay, for law, no, when they approve, let me agree. They still go to the people. People say no. Then come back, they say the people say no, they agree. Referendum. If they voter say yes, like Scotland don't come out of UK, but the people say no. Who they remain? In a matter, don't convince the Parliament say, okay, no, we're not to people. We don't go to the people now. Referendum. Then come out to the people and say no. Then vote no. So meaning, enter the people and say no. The parliament you know null and void, because the people now they get the responsibility for say would they agree or not. So for every law with the change, now three phase. You get the president, you face, you get the parliament, you get the majority. We now who now we employ them for work. Now who they can say now this player want or not want because now we employ them. If that three thing is not match, that law no the commodity. Don't like when they say not put the criminal liable act na lie. The death penalty na lie because you don't get a referendum popular because who the referendum. Do. So it's still inactive. So until entity all work, then gonna say okay, don't be law or don't plan a law. So for law see to this level of disrespect, not just for the constitution, for the people of Sierra Leone, then parliament when they get the immunity and they get the sole mandate for challenge government, then don't become so I don't know language I go use to them. They're not I don't know for any reason because they're comfortable, they having allowances, then get fuel, then get to car. Then get medical who go fly them out. You know, they know they feel the angry. That purpose you will not get money for buy. They don't take that now. Don't use people and money, use them oil for Friday. You go to a constituency, you look somebody get 100,000. You're glad for you. That's the truth. They're glad for you. Hey, that person, I don't give school fee for that person. That person that they go to and get 1 million to 1 bag rest. It is MP good old. They forget see that they always on Friday. Now make the nature. We don't do the kissing. But for let it sit down at this time. But let me tell you something. This particular thing, I'm for empower the MPs, especially the opposition party we may belong to. Because if this thing go to, if this thing, they say they know any bulldoze force. Me no say they no bulldoze no side. Because not say bulldoze the parliament it. For this one, for say they go to act. So if this happen, we then go begin to say the people of Sierra Leone not full any longer. Let us see what to do about Bundu. Where would they see that PR system? People and text about Bundu say afraid they go talk at the parliament say they don't get too much harassment na social media. Remember, na just put nobody sex and say no do this on them. Talks are fine, so them embarrass them, but he received the good, the bad, the ugly part in text. We make say go talk say he need to put his life now at risk at his age. So if the MPs the way that do we belong, when I don't have a party for 6 and today, if you support any bad opposition, you are aiding a bad government. If we will speak out for condemn the bad opposition, we need to aid the government to us personal abuse. So we know they can support bad opposition. We will forget to put that truth back, me to begin talking about day and night. We go begin put on that tools, begin check them now. See, this year already allow everyone don't understand that because I know plenty on one count of governance. They want to say this one keep quiet and full and full. Also, who self begin take the cost to take out the toilet. We go toilet panel, we go piss panel, we tell them it's not possible, bruh. It's not possible. So if we begin put them on the tools now, let them know say. We know they get a lot of this will me, brother. Me usually they pay me for this work to do so. Then they pay them for that work to go to the parliament. They are paid. Then they give them good money. Then they give them allowances them. Then they fly come out. Then they say that country wait up for salute. Hey, South Africa salute to the same. What you make? All parliament are hey those who say eyes and you know to need it. London. Then they salute. Nothing make a difference. Because they care less. They don't take their responsibility. They they're not taken for granted. But this time around, the MPs and the opposition, more the main opposition party APC, my brother. We're in at the neck. Therefore, can't tell we say we don't agree. We're left and let them go down. Or no, we don't agree. Or if we don't agree, what's in our next action? We want for sure letting it be. Therefore, tell the next step. We will support them.
So no more turning back. Now
No more turning back. No.
Okay. Lovely said. Comrade Koita, election notify away in a few months, but of course there are processes like you talked earlier on about the rigging of elections. You get the beginning part where people are not even realize they already don't start the rigging when are the normative process. The same thing again with elections. They get processes leading to the day itself. And one of them get for do with registration, whether campaign day on now. But you party day on the back foot in terms of what's happening, not only recently, but most recently it make them worse. We not see normally in a normal state, you go don't see MPs then they mobilize then people then with bullhorn, you know, they campaign for tell them people waiting and get for do waiting they come and who side for go and how for go about them. But they see few drips and drops in social media regarding voter registration. But the APC is actually on the back foot here because they are being described or labeled as terrorists, the entire party. That means even the parliamentary opposition is part and parcel of that label day. But we'll wait and see how it get for play out anyway. But the point that I'm trying to make is the first process when at this registration, how confident are you, how optimistic are you, my brother, say this will play at least to the advantage of APC despite the disarray? You feel say the one day we don't go underground, go come out overground, will they be defiant for come out and go begin the registration process? Is that something that you look forward to?
Well, matter of fact, I want to tell each and every Salon and say, you will be for protest and for protest. You know the police hide. And the police will declare over 2 million people as wanted. You know for anybody hide because come for protest. Whether they feel say, again is for anybody, then so be it. I believe say, even this what will happen is they don't motivate people more for register because no now say, if we not register, we'll put my bill out. What's going to happen in the next 5 years? It was than this wire. So I know say this thing will happen. So the killing of Evangelist Samson and so many things then don't give people more spirits for letting come out. I'm sure people get for come out for register in millions because the only open and get now for register and pull this government at 2023, which I'm very optimistic about. That people know this to them. Nothing know they make them hide, but don't go register. Mark my words. The only way they say no more. Let the opposition party let them pay attention on the registration, not so our areas. Now this now the for me so say they for do universal monitoring of the registration. Therefore, keep their eyes on the ball that is southeast. Let me tell you something, Prince. When the people are desperate, some people get one habit. If they don't get tired, you don't tie the neck, my brother, I like kill them. I give this example when they pull them without MPRC. This matter of you. Now we they use for all kinds of things. Then see how they go. Election they would fire people as the vote. They vote man for that MPRC go. When they pull it out AFRC, even mixed with RUF them. Then so the left for left man. When they out police and call May 8th, they say and call you go. You go man. When they put out SLPP in 2007, we'll see what's happened from 2004 local council, 2007 you go. When they say not out, they get oppression get limit pass, no problem. So God, you like to know to go. This registration September 3rd. Then go surprise at the police because they only hope now when they get now for police government power because laws look like a bunch of street traders today. They not drive them, not make them send the eat again. They're not get so they're not even get 1 million business money. But they go buy market na shop, can sell, they feed their family. Buy markets, can't sell, pay school before they picking there. They again. They're all hope now. See, the only two get for us survive now. We accept go in less than 10 months. So the people are well prepared their mind for come out and register in millions for police power. And I'm very much sure see they will come out. There is no way the oppressed police are low way they no good register. Let me tell you something, Prince. You go match me that of registration the first you go see the people who they register. Now people are angry for registration. They just need leadership. People they protect because when they say protect the vote, no. Protect the registration first. No how much people register in area, na constituency, na ward, na zone, na enforce, na enforce the people understand. Because if you don't get the statistics of registration, you need to protect your vote. Because if you 1 million person register at freedom, then go to 300,000, you have to protect that vote day. So they begin to make an election in the rigor way before polling day. Polling is the last thing for the election. The registration, I do get everything. The people are willing, the people are ready for come out and register. What's left for the opposition party, then take leadership, protect them voters and then they will registration because if you don't put it that they will vote. The people of Sierra Leone are angry, including me and you too. Me and you one less government can also hate SLPP, but if you don't come out to no say, na a recipe for chaos. Or no say, na another civil war would groom because people no go stay in exile forever. People no go in oppression forever. People no go in oppression for 10 years. Who will get bad governance? The best to for change them. Come to government where they can't wait they begin to say if you miss a mistake, they pull me. We get for try for another pattern of one. You know the law safe say that to do time. You know the law. If you work by the good to them, if you know the law. Now one time.
Absolutely.
Now we can one time it decide for now 5 be mandate to kill you. If you perform with the elect, you say pull that 2 times. I don't agree sabi. Now 5 be mandate to give somebody. We not perform, you go. If you perform with election for a second time like a school man, we not perform again a second time. We can the first time they say that they want make it be get a chance. There's okay, get back second time. Let me tell you something. Now they begin to do political gerrymandering. Political gerrymandering in 2002, the APC be lost sight of them when they come because win election they forget that in the how they do when they do gerrymandering by politics. Now you area you they cluster the polling centers there. People don't go suffer for go vote. Now you opponent area you open them. Now make you find out say where you go na the not like Bafodia so you get some polling center. Now 11-mile difference. Who said the pool and they for go register? Now 11 miles. Imagine me to go for go register. What? I get for supper for go register for go vote for you. We not to be a president, not to bargain for a president. But people are not then. So yeah, that's the truth. 11 miles. They take on and about for there. What can go 11 miles for go get polling center? Then do that. Not trusted. Rest area. I make if I say, can you get polling center by street because they may do for open up. So manufacturer man go look at no meaning register. When I come for go register, we lazy. I mean, for go sell and go begin fed for register. So then do it successfully. They succeed for do that in the. But now they want to do more political gerrymandering than ever before. Let me see can you get population pass future. Let me see book get population because they want now for reducer now so that it's the highest form of rigging they ever do so. So it left now to let the people who get the right for today and get the constitutional right to then MP them. Jerry Kuku, you get his responsibility. My brother, if you cannot face it, get out of the kitchen. If you know say you na person, you know you cook, you know a nice smoker and no like kitchen. Left put down in the face smoke like good. Jerry Kuku, if you know say that leader of parliament, we don't call him anymore. If he was not member, we don't call them now. No, so they call them who elect them. We call them and do the right thing. Now they pay them for. Then they pay them for this work here. If they sit down, they know to challenge this bad governance. They not accessing bulldozing. Wait, then they bulldoze you. Who's law and now laziness? Who's law say bulldoze you? Government they produce constitution. When I defend that of constitution. If you defend that now, let me tell you please. You get you team defender. They all left the goalkeeper. They said, this attacker, they can't all my go score. They know Ula. Say go score. Who did they play?
Comrade Koita. That's a very good. That's a very good one. I will left that answer to the manager them.
Yeah. Who did go play?
But anyway, Comrade Koita, very good points there, and very good point. I mean, very good analysis. And people are loving it. And I see a few comments who I go read shortly. But let me say this. Obviously, you they mobilize the base for let them know say there is nothing there to lose for Comonado for go register. Where they get paid for that. MP then we get a huge stake inside this way for the help with this. We need a from them. So this is massive. But in light of that, Comrade Koita, let's take a look at the structure of the party right now. In fact, there is no structure other than a 21-man committee designed by the courts, the judiciary, where you talk about earlier on, no respect for them because they don't become compromised. They are all the same cheek of the same backside, doing the same thing, with a outcome with a desire for 2023. But here it is, the party they operate on a structure designed for them, basically by the enemy, if I would say, and I say this in quotation marks before I try for lynch me. In light of this, no party executive, ward level, constituency level, and all other levels. So even if people were to come out today for go register and ready for the elections, how the party get for function? Tell me theoretically how you think about this entire process, and I want your view about how you see this entire justice system. We design a structure for one of the biggest, if not the biggest, political party in the country.
Well, matter of fact, me, all man go be a witness, including you. The way the court passed that in the me, I can't obstinate. I'm not even make a rule say. Me no they ever accept this to the man committee because they hold on a court for 2 years for selection. They say selection will not be law and APC constitution. No, say not to be law. We 1995 constitution we say we either elect or select people. And for Peter Conte and the NRM, they're going to court and say that not to law will be legal. International even in a law. 2 years. So as they go select from court. Give it to a man, now say me come with really accept that. Let me tell you something. The government used the court for collapse APC because they feel say if they don't collapse the leadership of the party don't collapse. Therefore, can say APC now a very, very big, not a social club. It's an institution, a very strong institution. We get a large membership. Now we get the make no mistake. Now APC get the largest membership as alone. Out of 7 million, we get over 4 million people. We get over 4 million supporters, members. So they feel say collapsing the executive when they get the power for go meet people, know that the people will listen, don't collapse the APC party for like unable for register. Let me tell you something. The main opposition party now a party where it was established long ago, and we get mindset on the own. The court decision where they put per week for go select somebody saying that the chairman, a surrogate of the me, I will tell you a surrogate of the SLPP, and they use Peter Conte. If you're not APC like me, like women, even a real APC, now continue APC when we go collapse party at this point in time. When they see the government, they used all the weapon them for kill the APC. Using the court, go impose people in Paris, that is not the case. We already don't see what the government was. The case now, the 21-man committee, what will they see? Even within themselves, when they say that they manage themselves, they will manage themselves. Even within themselves, the chairman also be enrolled. Another officer, you don't do any organization because if you're a chairman of any organization, you know your functions, you know your role. Of course, applicable they do very well when I say they do very well. But you see that if the secretary put a press list, the chairman they make other press list, then the publicity they make a press list. That is not the case. The case here is the leadership of the opposition. They say the leadership of the opposition, when I check on they control the party. If we don't come to this point in time, they're very close to the institution. Now, we don't get even one executive. We don't get even one executive by virtue of right. If we don't get an effective political party, we don't get structure ready for elections. If we don't get ward leaders them, if we don't get consensus leaders them, if we don't get district leaders them, we region and the national executive, we don't get them. But we get the system for people them out. The people until they learn to the old chairman them, the old charity them old national executive them, because for now they will listen more. Now they'll still listen to, because this one with this one out, this caretaker committee, they tell them they don't so today they don't even make any election. I think the one back for Koguna court. When some of them tell us the APC party, no, they afford for go anywhere again, rather for long get to set together, because one forget to flag bearer. Naturally, we all lead for do so many things there. But the answer, they told the people them. Me and great people them, as I talk on this platform, any part of the holiday, who they allow self call the people say, in as much as APC not get leadership it, in as much as not get flag bearer it, we'll go register. Now we will the whole. Now, man come out, not take as an advantage, see, we don't know it whether they be the chairman or secretary or flag bearer. No, that's not the case. Whosoever they put for me for lead the party, like the now for the registration for police government power, and then for the main objective. So when they tell this, the people of the APC people, the supporters, the members, the sympathizers, so in that alone. In as much as we so today, they're still ready for go out and register. You don't get nothing for the statutory for no register for police government come 2023, June 24.
Yes, comrade. That could amount, to like a lot of talk, but and with passion as well. But the structures are not kind of in place for lead the party to victory in 2024, because I want to believe from what we would only see, there is going to be more drama until the people are determined, say, well, enough is enough. We look at. Inside the parliament, you get a part of this 21-man structure, although you deal with Angisno, but I want boil down to something. The fact that the 9-man and the 20 and the 12-man never see eye to eye, that in itself is a sign of weakness and not strength. And either the way it was designed, it work for the designer them, or there is something just not right within that very structure there. Because if the 21-man cannot go forward for unify the party to this stage, then this is alarming, Comrade Koita.
Yes, real alarming. My brother, as I tell you, say, what would they can't talk for be sincere and would they talk something? And until we get the courage for tell people and say, when I need to do right, or they do right things, we need to go not some of we. Prince, of course, maybe don't engage, but different ways to forum, we don't engage in conversion. You know, say, again, your position always very clear. That meaning the support's wrong for anything, no matter who agree, my brother. If you're wrong, you are not performing. Let's say, Prince, you need perform. Yeah, the leader of the position, men to very close. I think that any other person has to be there. We're very close. We have too many things in common. But for now, we see differently. Because me think say he's not doing what I expect him for like do. I'm not saying he do nothing, no. But it's what it's way for push me more. Way for people from this anarchy, I still say lapses did it. And when there's lapses, we need to sit down and no point them out, my brother. We get for tell you, say, you are doing very well on this area. On this area, you need to do much. You yourself understand, say, what we say is just the truth. Only they can clap for posting prince, for they clap for anything. No. For say you do good when they clap. No, we do good at the clap. We do bad and they clap for you. I say, no, this thing wrong. If we don't get to a 21-man committee, when they say the leadership and the post when the way get the power for to that we see the 21-man committee. The APC get 12 and Koita 9 in interest of the party. I don't see anything. All the work in the interest of the party and for pulls and low from this point here. I know this way they get disagreement here, they kind of social media. Even if Koita go now say for even in that people are now say that even sponsor a protest where they will not the APC participate for in that the people left. We see now say a lot of who may to be disagreements on press list them. The chairman will pull so, the secretary can pull this way. We secretary pull so when I get the right for police press list, the secretary and the chairman goes in and nobody list to the secretary. Where are we headed to? So that tells you then when they are then just in their self-interest, not to party interest at all. In their interest, if they all look in the interest of the party, they don't put ego aside, put all things aside, say, okay, no thing, low can together, but low go do what elections. Low can do constituency elections. In the interest of the party, when I can disagree to an agreement, but I be in the interest of the party, not of somebody's interest, but all of them get kind of this way the support. All my people say, if this thing go this way, the main candidate disadvantage. We the people are not care about candidates now, for God's sake. We care about the party in unity and the moving forward. The 21 committee, they also say very clear. All man get all the support. If you say if you allow this year, candidates no they win. But once people say low no get selection. When I say election, not like candidates again. Let candidates go prove themselves to the ballots, to the delegate them. But the only part for position people now they want always set a executive with a favor in candidates. Now the 9-man committee, if they allow the 12-man committee, then they make executive will be saying need for the candidate. Then 12-man if they allow 9-man committee to content, let's say get candidate, labeling themselves to different candidate, and then no got problem. If they all be saying, "Oh, me, I need support Samura, I need support Mikalo Masari, I need support this," they all remain in that independent manner. Even if I support you, I need to put you above the party interest. They all get the party interest first than candidates. Me brother, we need to get this argument here. Because me and this I get me candidate to elect, but we can't petition at the party 9 days before. You are the support. The way you lost, I don't come from that. I don't go to the post you win because of the party big pass all. Because they all get them candidates when they feel say minus their candidates, nobody candidate for survive. That is the problem. And then the candidate back, that's the truth. Minus the candidate, and then the candidate back, then nobody can say, if you don't support me, we shall win that problem. So you see the mix-up don't start from 2018, this bad politics in long term, it don't intensify inside opposition. Because let me tell you something, the APC not go to a drawing board, we'll go to called evaluation. In life, you evaluate, you win and you lose. If you win, they evaluate you winning. I want win, now this way I win. I go sit my exam, and before I get 80, I get 60. What you make I not get 20, why I not get 80 hours? You evaluate her. Maybe you lapses, you try for improve on her. If you lose, you can straight to a drawing board. Why I lose? What you went wrong? And I've been disunity, all them tier from 2018, we'll not get the team. We don't go outside and say they make 9-man committee report to the do you go in vain. And at the long come, look, I don't go in vain. Don't go at court, don't make, we don't change in 95 so maybe tell the long it goes to nothing at the problem. That the insincere at the problem. Not to 90% of that selection, not to selection, because people do not believe in God, they don't believe in the time, power and God the key. Let me give you an example of APC. In 1985, I go to remember for all this year. SI Kuruma, now for become president as an to the highest level, SI Kuruma. If we have become president as alone, we Sekati will go meet him. Say go nominate more. Remember, you know vice president for over many years. Sekati will go. He refused to be the president because in the party we put force, he go na the whole land to money. He say me SI. I don't nominate more for some president. From then to this, wherever I say Kuruma statement talking to APC, wherever I talking to against people, where are my points? We got to use points at that time. Then cost him all. Then cost him because not point the candidate. So that till they get it, then feel safe now the candidate they give for our election. And then they take the 20, then turn the one candidate, then turn the other one candidate. This is 20 election. We lose them because they don't pull their eyes on the ball. They pull their eyes on the ball quick. All ministers will come and as an done in 5 years, all man talk from all man. I want to tell 28 people, all man talk president. Oda now, somebody is deputy minister now, we want to president. Somebody go to ambassador, we want to all man not left you go. All man begin to pay. So now, not all man are president, my brother. So APC lost their sight on the ball, and they still not put their eyes on the ball. Then still and then chip. If you know so Prince is supposed to, nobody know for win. Before Prince, if Prince lost, all lost will go there. Then they even forget the people that suffering. And then they still watch that in the so because they're all there that in 21, all man and candidate they had. So there's no one now for can to the party interest. You know what in law put this thing aside, law put to the party, law go na the ballot box, law go na the get choose. All man if say then they don't label each and everything. So because of this insincerity, that make we go get executive. If we not be careful, you get for rule out January next year. I don't see we go to convention. Trust me, it is the circumstance fact you have for say, but we for say this time for people pull their mind. Say una register when I register, I keep that registration card in my pocket for full SLP 2023 because I'm very much sure if the APC come together, I can have 2 months to election or re-election.
Yeah, you with all what you described. So of course you're a very clever man, and I'm very convinced today with the thing with the way you say within the last minute or two. You are absolutely right. From me gathering in social media now. Identity politics. Now, most of your people then they practice and don't align themselves with candidates at the expense of the party. So therefore, they cause the party, great harm. That if not to X, then nothing else. So then they get effect. You think say this amounts to like a power struggle within?
Big time. Not to amounts. This one, no, say amounts. This is the big time. I don't tell them it don't start from 2018. From 2018, minister to minister, they argue. Let me tell you something. This took him all the camp of past struggle. Not SFP. So man look for which one company and say if we go allow that man come on at diaspora and go to MP, then say logo JFK, then go talk to him. Then say look say not of him call out. Then look within themselves say so man then get passport to load say to see me no man give up in national institute for go to president. So you see the past struggle don't start in APC. I say people then just after 2012 election, all man to and Nkrumah. All man want on president, minister now, deputy minister now, ambassador now, head of parasita now, even party people now, they want on president. Nobody want work for a company. They not build the party like, they not copy what secretary do. Presidency, not all man are presence and material. Samura Kamara made to Bisabiam. Me from Adam and Obisabia said better because I'm moderate. When they choose them, we all surprised. But now so God and Sumasi choose them at that time. He was not a bad candidate, for God's sake. The man win 68 seats when they pull some. He was not a bad candidate. Now just the APC out of Barati, hence Prince don't get me na Prince me come and support Prince don't get all go be an opposition. If it's opposition sweet. Because some man not be feel opposition. Now governors and Canada and John Square, if it's opposition, now they know opposition not sweet. Now they know opposition at 2 hats. Because they count at 207, so man can after 207, they enjoy John and Square. Logo opposition for one logo beer. And 2 be not be opposition, who be not to be the bad one. Who be says this is a preference like feel the pain. Who will tell some man I don't call the name for confidentiality sake, I don't call the name. Who will tell and say, hey, I wanna be at this team. Una no beer. I say, hey, SFPP. Logo make some of our left side until that down on any go salon. Then visit play now the party so. So man, they're not gonna go get itself. So because they not take part to put at the party, nobody want beer for a company. They don't want even respect structure. They don't want respect. Okay, both me and Prince they go look at Prince. Anyway, Prince big pass. Me get each small. Prince come Prince big pass. Better Prince. Well, I don't say if you will not die, Prince go come out. Just know they don't even look at all that in a day. They see man when at 20 years, they go challenge person at 50 years for power. You get over almost year day before you. They start support. They don't even look at age. That age limit they say, okay, me are young a little bit. Sometimes me at 40. That man they in not 60. If men to compete, no, like yeah, last supporter. I still get many years if I not die. Then if I then just pass your body, they don't point everything for a struggle and then intensify every day. Every day in all walks of life, party position now, flag bearer talk no day. Everything don't intensify for a struggle. Nobody want to look at say no, Prince don't do that for me. Now Prince first don't begin talk for me. Now I no can jump Prince. No, that Prince go before me. Like go this now, they say okay, but Prince come because I would have take us publicity sector or government spokesman, me too. Man, look at it first, Prince. I don't say big person by age. I say anyway, Prince don't pass 55. Me I dey drive for the 50s now. Anyway, Prince, you and the brother go. I don't under you. Really listen if you go to God, you go remember me say no. Like Koita you don't go even doubt yourself. Really, they don't pay for build that unity and the party say, let me left for you. Wait, let yourself get to the heart. If you go there, no say no, that may be number 2 now. Now so politics they play. We'll see a fight in 2000 from 2002 to 2005. But this kind of that first with the APC, nobody ever say in history. APC will get 12 court case, and the Scuba will get 12 court case. But don't get by that. We can't Charlie Commander, don't say, okay, no left others. Big passer, but the popular pass we. No left arm. 205 again, they say go. And when self can be called on me, put that the ambassador and on this, you appoint the all. We see the party get very good scores between 207 to 212. Because they all make out clean. After that now, all man's on president. No one okay for the party, for the country. All man's on president.
Wow.
You see, so they're not just discredit tension high now, we make lost sight now, up to date.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm completely mesmerized because I know you're really stuck on this kind of level. You know, you're so serious but so simplified for even the little mind, you forget them. And this is about talking about una party in unity and the analogy the way you give, taking us back to 1985, where Sori Ibrahim Koma, S.I. Koma, as he was popularly known, he been get the clout, he been get the base BNM. Very strong and powerful and ruthless man in his days. But because of party unity, we then tell and say, hey, not to you, even though he been have hope, he still go endorse the ex-brigadier, Joseph Saidu Momo the late. Comrade Koita, Dr. Samura Kamara, where you mentioned the name once or twice. With the ongoing things them around them, the drama them around them, you think say he get a case against them, or this is just pure witch hunt?
Well, then witch hunt, this is a pure witch hunt by the government, but because of the bad politics between the APC, you get APC put the tell say, Samura Kamara, they put on a court. I just tell the one no more say, me Samura Kamara was not my choice. But today you not elect Samura Kamara, you not elect at all. But trust me, you need to pull the popularity we get to the authority party. He's been the most popular politician for today's and Louisiana APC. You not elect him, you not give me candidates at all at the support. But for say you're not popular past all of them, na lie. You don't get sympathy for all of them, now you get sympathy and popularity past all of them. And the APC party need to go into convention without Samura Kamara. That's a sacrosanct fact. They're not going to make convention, they say don't put Samura Kamara. Man, they say don't go to try that day because you know, see, the people that when they vote for the APC, 60% or 7% do Samura Kamara, 60% do Sam. Look at what we come out inside. Samura. So the man not see na threat. But in as much as they don't get evidence against that, the government try the new way. but it left to the party. And the people that we get the party now, we, the majority, the grassroots. They don't member they say that they get the party because what they pay membership will not reach 2,000 or 3,000. The unrest, all the supporters that they book pass you. That they get the party. And then supporters that they get the party and they rally behind Sabura Kamara. You might not like him at all. You knock it like and knock you support him, but if you sit in it, if you put them always that be popular past all of them. He gets sympathy, public sympathy past all of them. Then they may choose Sabi, and they know they even hide that through themselves. When I then through they tell people and say, me know the support, if I not support someone myself, but for say for the interest of the party, for long win the election, if any people want, let's us give you a chance. I don't tell them say, let's look at Anes Kuma in 2002. By law, where Anes Kuma go 2002, you know for going to 2007. But because you don't grow in popularity in a parliament, they don't say as in a person, you know, the people are not can like her. We go court say, come and look for the inside of the party, they don't say APC for win election, but pass again Anes Kuma. They don't say if they put Anes Kuma, APC will win election. They all sacrifice. They say no voting, we want to be, but for the inside of the party and the people them, let them get honest. That is not that party people them. They're not that they will talk them. Say the command, they don't die, will talk them. They sacrifice the time, they struggle, they see no Anes Kuma, the party by far. There's no the party by far. But for like APC get a part 270, they left again. They say that this man is not like today. That's in the next man, like don't like somebody, you don't shine. And it's like Gormon Asia. And this, they look busy. This man, if you pull up for now, not a problem they get, no left up. Now the same thing, in history, APC get a record of history. If we look history, we know the pets for leadership in APC. Because leadership they come by posting popularity. It has got the direct leadership to we. It happened in 1985. It happened in second Stephen. Now call the APC, we got leadership. Do I know from Pakali them? As I could say, the state of the APC. But naturally, God choose the leadership. You know the part of the one day. Now call away can in God. That's so APC. And so when you know the history of APC, you need for leadership because APC can see you know the other for so. No, so you know now call them we can God can turn on the leader. He can't turn president. Where they go, God use again instead of get SI Kroma or say Kramatilo, he say SI go nominate. If SI say no. If you become and I say the one you know for talk and then get APC. SI let me get APC all man that day. Now be the machine for APC. But the party interest. He say, na me they nominate more for Trump president. From that end to date, nobody knows as I make a single statement against a captivity or a talk against the party. He supports it, goes to not full. And it's the same thing happened. Not to and it's not to you know because for leader. Now we go choose no more. Una ask history. And let's make a possible to go support for top flag bearer before you go choose her. For say even they go for top flag bearer, no. Even they go for support somebody where they call the person name. Now within this pool when they look the person and they say, Ernest, this person they can't meet the late. Now once for what's happening, you go to come. I didn't say no. We say we need to do. But God don't choose them. That's why you take top flag bearer. When I ask history, I don't call the person name. If they go support somebody, the person will go permit quick. The person is stingy. The person they attend. Now they say Ernest Roma, APC, one quarter. You lead this. Now say no one need one. Then first and take. That's what we'll take. Let's wait on president. We'll see what you don't do. So among the Ernest Kuma, God used them for choose Samura Kamara. Today, Samura, no one knows Sabia. But man knows Sabia now. If we're all honest to conscience and God, we say one the country for better. We want more than this year. Trust me, APC not do for fed for black bearer. We just need for Nuda for 200 the mates, all that in there. We not need for that. We go convention for convention sake. But all they know that popular. We not pull against sympathy for. We not need for argue. My brother will get for say this truth. I for people that say the only way left for APC for election I for say the truth. Like me they say so. If you possibly want to talk president and not call Comrade Koita, of course you will call me by phone. That's the APC. You like to know you call me. We will do the space same already. We'll get for tell the truth say we don't need fight at APC anymore. We'll get somebody who already don't sell himself. Someone will tell me, man, run away, 9 left as alone. He'll go to Abacha Street, he'll go bury, he'll go so. Tell man, no can like him. What do one can do now? One can fight for can fight bad name. One can fight for low, get excuse back, say, hey, now when they put someone and I make sure they're going to say, and the school man, I sell APC. Why give someone another one back for fair order bad name, say, now they put someone and I make lose election. No, never bad name again. When they go sell again, material, they cannot fight in the pig at the market today. This will not fit this whole year for 4 years, don't pick. In price on high. All man they put price up by the man. We go there for go take small pig. It's not possible. So if we're not honest to ourselves, we don't need competition in this race. Not just allow the process to follow. We'll choose do I go down back for me. Let go try and knock. If you not get no to pass, say let not get again. Instead of no to present material. Then it gives chance to the stage. That's it for me, my brother.
Famulem, we talk to Comrade Koita, a man with vast in the political knowledge, the landscape, and of course the politics of Sierra Leone. He served in the army, if I'm not mistaken, for 28 years. So we talk about a man with substance. But of course, not a man, so you know me say he is perfect. But so far, the analysis are quite impressive. We they come towards the end of this particular program. Very interesting and important program. Una please keep tuned. So once again, Fambulem, today, the 20th of August, 2022, on a program on the TNN TV Media Empire. Me now on host Prince Emil Koma, and the host a known voice in social media, Comrade Koita. We don't make a very strong and powerful case because what you've been try for outline, I believe, is well achieved on this particular program, which is the thing will lead us to August 10th. It's about the cost of living. It's about corruption. It's about the abuse of democratic processes and procedures. The indecency way, government continue for show. The insensitivity way government continue for demonstrate towards its people. The undue advantage where they try for take over its people. And just basically the cost of living arising from fiscal indiscipline and rampant corruption, basically. Disregard for the people. So all of that culminated into the August 10 crisis where we see in the country. And as we speak, the country is in turn. Of course, there's quiet, but underneath we know that there is anger. People have lost loved ones. So something, they obviously in the making. Comrade Koita, we come towards the end of this program. And I just want to let we shift gear now, specifically to the protest itself and the All People's Congress Party, their position as they now. So the government of ex-brigadier Julius Maada Bio don't declare the entire All People's Congress Party. This will be the executives, and if they get any, but of course we know the big one them, now they will call the executives, and the people, the supporters, them, the basis, the grassroots. But normally now the hierarchy, now you can hold because like you say, it's impossible for hold 2 million, 3 million, or even 100,000 people, them. You don't get a facility there. So it will much more be the hierarchy of the party that will be held responsible. And let's make it clear, there is a reason why the government accused the All People's Congress of a coup. And a coup amounts to the threshold of treason. Una want overthrow me government. The question to you, Comrade Koita, because obviously there are recriminations, there are repercussions, there's call for revenge, we don't see killings in the country, arbitrary arrests, extrajudicial killings. Will the courts, the police, the executive branch go on for hold people like Dr. Samora Kamara, people like the like Chegno, Cherikoko Bar na Parliament, because basically these are the leaders for the party and they will therefore hold them responsible for the charge for treason. Do you envisage anything like that? What's your view, my brother?
Well, let me come before I talk. Let me just tell you now about this government with the irresponsible statement. We'll go back to when they just win the election in 2018, when the former president Minguna Makini, we see Lima, when a deputy internal affairs minister, can I you see the APC they plan the coup, and as Kumapa look content they plan the coup overthrow. That's a man no APC itself. They say APC overthrow them. So calling APC saying APC overthrow SLPP, not to strange thing to be, because they're the best defense than they when they misbehave. Instead, they take responsibility and try to correct them. Then they shift the blame. SLPP under President Biu. Therefore, when they come, now blame game. There's fear triangle at all. There's not APC then cause them. They're not able to take out. They know peace allowed. There's not APC cause them. From when they can, everything is about APC. So we know them for that day, and we know they pay attention for that day. It's very, it's unfortunate to forget the head of state. We don't even know what's in the ethics of in office. They don't even know like the man of people like military man because for like talk about coup d'etat. For like for coup d'etat, if we don't get a beyond if we don't get the evidences, we make it pronounce them. We don't say they take power. One man they say treason. One great person by law, any side of the world, one man they commit treason. If even Parliament go take weapon if I President Biu, not to treason. The assassination now more than the charge for not to treason. We say the charge one great man Parliament say for treason. no disgracefully they're gonna call the proper charges that day. So but let them say the APC party want me cool in as much as not to APC call for protest. But let me make this thing very clear, my brother. What people are protest for us alone, now the opposition party already feel more, now people feel the pain more. The killings that would happen from 20 to they're not one Calami, they're not one South East, that is not the Northwest and Western area. The lawful arrest and detention will happen, they're not one South East, that is Northwest happen. Well, we don't know the Southeast, if then maybe government will go supply the net rest, or they give them extra fuel, we feel job na the other part of the country, 20,000 they get up for 6,000. We don't know what mean they need the protest. But the reason what people in protest then at the right, they feel say things don't work well. The government abuse the people right too much, they kill people, they pass the constitution so much, and they're not able, the government they engage the people. When people in the protest that engagement form. So if you protest at McKinney, on a Kamakwi, on a Future, on a Poloko, that means in an APC protest because I did not, on an APC stronghold, that's a very big no. Now, no. SLP no get, they're not going to vote na McKinney. They're not going to vote na Kamakwi. They're not going to vote na Lungi. In fact, Lungi said, and get cancelled in 2019, they win this one council seat. Na Lungi. Who's in the protest? They're not going to personally. I go to label, we say, now you get cancelled na Lungi already, we don't win for a day. You know, for let them get that, even images, but you know, na premeditated planning they get. They not before the protest happened. They not arrest Medicaid from the 7th of August. Before even the sit-down start, Medicaid not arrest them for what he. Nobody knows about. Not a lawyer, not a family. Nobody knows. When they go to the police say no time Medicaid. So if the people they protest, but they're all right because they protest that McKinney, they protest that Bo, they protest that Kenima, na Kamakwi, sorry, na Lungi, na Future, doesn't mean that APC. The answer is very, you know, we make position very clear. Not to APC call for protest, but APC need to stop problem because APC protest say not for protest, for the APC in the modern. But not to we call for protest. But equally not to call for protest, don't mean say the people because APC supporters they mean say not get for protest. The answer is very, you know, they get us for protest because that's the fundamental right. When the party want call for protest, they see the leadership of the party they take the protest. That only matter you see, not to say it mean you know see the now with the able. The leaders them like and Escobar not passing all this while Samura Kamara, maybe the Pansane, maybe Cherry Kukuwe, then know this thing. Maybe they not identify problem or they look at now key players and back inside they know him already. See a lot hold the leadership for them. And the tennis team, Prince, if they even hold on and they hold the local and APC get leader and back with the badge. We even be aggressive past Samura Kamara or Escobar. Because the APC we get a system, we get play with the we not ready for grab itself. So for now the government, the protest happen. We not put the right for protest. Whatever how the protest turn, those are now we excuse. For like President Bill come, you don't talk consistently 3 times. Say the APC party, the people that are not terrorism. We kill them McKinney, na APC we call for any protest for generator. The other side no. They say they want to go to the machine and protest. When they go kill the, it's not terrorism. Na Panema when they go for kill we, it's not terrorism. We have in Alusha, Chumbo, it's not any side it goes not terrorism. How a president don't come, a label the whole region, not Northwest and Western area, is not terrorism. You don't consider just in the Southeast, that they clear. And we will not say the first lady make a video. I think if you don't see them, people in that social media will say the only play that you will and genuine, the SLPP supporters, and I know more than them. We the rest of to SLPP, we also we have no value. A country will say then go to begin the mob justice. We don't see the mob justice, don't start by chances, and so many other problem. So you know, it's a pity, it is disappointing. A president like Bio, they talk like any a reckless statement. They talk like Lima. Now Lima for the told that you know they blame if you talk because only level. Matter of fact, somebody that travel army as lieutenant, you don't forget any serious appointment. Talk less for go to a deputy minister. It's Lima be told that they may answer himself because I don't see that level and they but the president for like camp. They go to all that day. He not even listen to the deputy function minister. Solomon Jamiru, very clever guy. What it happen? He make 3 minutes with you. It's let the left for push you for do bad things there. Let the man they behave like a democrat. Let engage people before talk to the people. Let the left for that say use the military jacket to come. Then they get for scanning this. I don't say go scanning this. You know for another guy advice. Lima and talk. Is a camp. The terrorist information minister. The terrorist party. This you know they're not even terrorist insurrection. All kind word they talk. All kind time. They don't even know what the insurrection the terrorists. So for that label we not to strengthen. But equally say the APC party we prepare if in case they want to do anything to lead us them. Like the Samura Kamara and Eskruma, and anybody who now lead us them. They say they go hold them in that August 10th. Trust me, then they see the biggest protest. We APC they call for, and I don't suppose they call them because we really hide behind somebody small people who call protest. No, this time around we don't prepare our mind. We don't get for head to that side. If they attempt to say they call the APC or the whole leaders for responsible for August where they no DD, they're going to hold Medicaid from the 17th they not agree left. If they don't left Medicaid, we will continue for talking. If they don't left Medicaid, we get for call political actions. We get for make the world know see who Comrade day behind bars. We don't know if he alive or not, and we get for who's a day. If you don't left up, if continue this way, we are calling for a protest. We are calling for a peaceful protest until we get answer to them. We don't come on the street. We don't burn person property. We don't go broke bank. We don't target policeman. But equally, they for no see we get for protest. Police and target to pull them. We still get the same right for defend themselves because no, you don't police the car use firearms unnecessarily. Pull them, no say it's wrong. If you still use that, they are switch on. If you say the last poll I'm for play APC, now lie they lie. APC is an institution. No APC, we get over 4 million members and supporters. So if you even take 100 people, we'll still get over 3 million some way they come back for candidate leadership. We'll still win election. There is no way Madam Bill they win election in 2023. We are set and we're ready. We just want to let God make this 21-man committee. We then give me Comrade Koita not ever recognize them. And I will talk about this platform say I know they ever recognize a committee we cut go kiwi. Not to cut the choose who will lead us them. That the party for go choose who lead us them. Who get lead us so get flag bearer. Then we'll start the ball game. Policy is start proper, who don't get flag bearer. But for like they go use that statement, the unfortunate statement that go plus on all sides, terrorism, APC. We are not terrorists. We're not a terrorist organization. APC party, for God's sake, not being in governance, we work in this country. Forget for God, terrorists. I think about it. I think about it. They're going to push them to area, and they can't kill people. Cut people and the people are now they're going to push, can't kill people. So we're not ever going to push it for campaign war. Not to make out one a saloon. So the terrorists, the real terrorists in this country. If you check the think about them, then they're part of the SLPP. Because they go to RF. Call what APC might win at the RF, no? We've been in a conference and say the only for police are about going to push, they can rape people, cut people, and burn houses them. Today, we come out, we'll come back in power. We'll be the man that will be the talk say if you know election, that there are consequences them. Do all kind of rudeness. We'll not do nobody, not kill nobody. APC party, we always peaceful, and we always the uphold the constitution, the whole the rule of law. Will they bring cohesion? And it's come 10 years, we don't know that Southeastern, we don't know that Northwestern. Man, be 4 years, we don't sharply divide by tribe. What are you building? What are you inside? Where they talk to me, those are not as them. Talk me na Southeastern them. Country sharply divide. So we always try for bring that, break that in the. We always try for count the cohesion. We always try for make less salon say salon will not for run by tribe or by region or by political party. You know for be secure of the job because of SLPP. How many no sack? Because of that, look, man, this still happen. Sule no din, and Sule no go sack because they say not na. Halstein, the only crew man. Them pull and say not na. The one that made the man pull and say man actively. They say no believe and come up. Don't because my man from Lushan and say they give information to APC. So in the people because you think they are not supporting your political party. These are professional people for God's sake. They pull this and now you look at the do. So we get for look at the setting of a country. We get for challenge that because me come with Koita. I know like APC gonna plan and say the man for girl will continue man or not. No, it's not possible. And not for sack somebody because you not support APC. It's not possible. If you qualify of your job, you shall be woke. You're not a professional. You then live like you woke. Nobody for police because of to APC. No, be professional. But today they see, you know, the suicide man winner, the work na disaster management, the work at PC, each post that village 500,000 for go support SLPP. Government work out. Now you know for even your politics, they go and campaign for SLPP for now. They not start the campaign for register. If you're in uniform with in tag, when they see them ONS man them Bonnie, then go kill then go kill Evaluation from there. You go then go buy gun can give the brigade commander. These are professionals. Now we look at ONS and the military. They play inside politics, they post in the government. We don't see so many things. They always soldier and they say, then a proper soldiers. We don't see inside president. We don't see so many. So there are a lot of things that we get for try for shape up because some of us who there so little understanding and little area of speciality. Who could I do to go emphasize the security sector, government institutions them move for build and for a better country. Obama will not need strong government. We need strong institutions. We get correct head of military. We get correct IG. We get correct chief justice. We get judge with correct to politicians. Them. Those like that doing this now. So we need for the we need for salon need for be overhaul. The entire need for overhaul. We'll get a better system. We nobody will pay for see me and Mandela. I didn't work 10 years. And it's come out 10 years. And it's come pull Mandela serious. It's called Mandela serious. SOLMs are serious. I mean, military na deputy. I mean, they pull Mandela. I got Mandela. But that's it for me. Now they get the rank. You know me say for pull also because of that also I mean, you know do and it's one I do 10 years. Pakaba later they say not do 10 years. Pakaba be did a management, but don't make management head of army. I mean, my left is Sampuma. You don't make nothing ahead of army. I mean, not on a pakaba, or you don't make nothing ahead of army. It takes a moment, I put on day. So you see the thing where it happened, this particular set of people on the view, whatever statement they see, they don't even know the effect of the statements. It's like bullet. Then they look APC, they look a whole job. Now this being caused the genocide that one in 1994, where the Hutu and Tutsi then begin to themselves like enemy. You know, look say the 12th time they call them terrorists. That will all me and you all are terrorism. Me and APC, but me not terrorists. We'll never be terrorists. We'll never practice terrorist life safety alone. APC will always be peaceful. We don't want governance 4 years. What you not do APC inside these 4 years? When do SFP like lockout fete. In 4 years, when you don't do it for lockdown, for kidnap, for terrorism now, will still be here. Because people protest from the north, you don't care about the reason for the protest. Now, what's the protest happening? I don't care about. The protest happening at the north, we agree. The happening at the northwest, we agree. We happen at Western India, we agree. But what's the protest for? Continue tranga. When I hold them, kill, I hold them for nothing. When I kill, you know, people will survive. The cost of living very high. Transportation on there. This is the reason for the protest. Pay attention on the reasons rather than the area where the protest happened. Engage the people there rather than castigate them. You already judge that say APC and terrorism. So law say they know up to 200 people now. Then that's sure then they sentence them because no label is in a terrorism. Then that's sure. So they already sentence them down. They not even try they don't care. They're going to Panama road. They're not going to cut them. They're going to Panama road over 200. So they get for sentence them. So the president is statement not say they get for be biased on the judgment at court. They get for be biased on the investigation at police station. Because not talk your statement. Don't label state away as terrorists.
Many thanks. I'm just the hang on to every word we've been a city and some issues then where you cite. And I just want to play one or two video and Fambulem will come towards the end of this program. Very interesting and very important program. And the brother has been making some great points and one back them because that's what we do here with evidence. Let me take a look at this broadcast from an international mainstream media.
Welcome back to Focus on Africa. Let's go to Sierra Leone now as a sense of normalcy and calm is returning to the country following days of protest over the cost of living. 25 people, including 5 police officers, were killed during skirmishes between security personnel and protesters. On Sunday, a police raid on a hideout led to the death of Hassan Doumbouya, popularly known as Evangelist Samson, who was accused of inciting the violence. The BBC's Thomas Nadi reports.
A mother struggling to come to terms with her loss. Maria Sisi lost her 16-year-old daughter during Wednesday's violent protests. She was hit by a stray bullet at home.
I'm very sad and hurt. I have struggled to take care of my daughter to this stage, and now she's dead. I feel a lot of pain.
The bullet first grazed this woman's stomach, but she managed to survive. It then hit 16-year-old Khadija Ba, killing her instantly. The bodies of the 25 who died have been left in this central morgue. Khadija's father had come here to claim her body, but was denied.
We're appealing to the government to give us our relatives to bury. She was a very promising child, but now she's dead.
The police opened fire on protesters angered by the rising cost of basic goods and alleged human rights abuses in the country. Public and private properties were destroyed in the protests. A prominent opposition critic of the government, Evangelist Samson, has been killed during a police raid on a hideout of alleged suspects behind the violent protests. This is a residential area, and one of the bullets.
So I will stop that video there because I get 2 more for play. And Comrade Koita, I want, of course, you don't touch on them, but I would like for you lay emphasis on them as well. And what we do here, we want to let people in the area and see physically with their own eyes what we talk about. So una this is now an international broadcast. We talk about the police open fire on protesters, not protesters doing the opposite, but the police. And the report went on to say, angered by rising cost of food prices. Are they in Europe? But I'll make this clear because on Sunday, what we can draw a parallel, we can hear people and they talk, all kind of rubbish and nonsense. Usa with their so. If waiting the transpire in a salon was to happen, you see people and they jump in a treat. Let me let you know now. And protest the high cost of living. This is basic. basic mathematics, basic social principle. So due to the rising cost of food and other services that people can no longer afford, it offends them that much that the need for make their anger known to the government, which amounted to a protest. During the course of that protest, the police was ordered to open fire on protesters, as we hear in the report. This is not me making this up. This is a report in international media. Comrade Koita, your thoughts?
Thank you very much. You see, the question is, right now we get the trained workers in on strike, no so.
Yeah.
They're not strike so many times. They say 14, they say they are increasing salary because inflation they rise.
Absolutely.
Salon, when the people are saying they sit down now, who's another go tell. We people will make say if I don't cancel tomorrow, we put on a market now, they go to for cancel. If you drive as anybody is saying it's saying now, let me say they pay them less than £100, not £100, less than 60 or 70 pounds a month. Somebody say no, but they're not saying that's 500,000. If I need to go, the other day that person they don't go replace her. So then I say they not care about the reason for the protest, but they care about where the protest happen. Because when they care about the reason of the protest, they even tell place when I go far because they don't get that thing. Say no, they don't protest like Kono, they don't protest just like pass the few. If now my Kenny feel it, now they rise for commons. You if you they get you they eat, you they sleep and they eat, then they give money and book Kenny Makala, it's fine. If when the marriage they maybe 50,000 for bag, it's fine. But my Kenny said that's 500,000, so they get it for commons. So not to say the protest happen for look now. Why the protest happen? And the reporter and maker clearly say because of cost of living not high, transportation not high, everything not high. Instead, imagine police and get all kind of mechanisms for hot protests and get in lots of tear gas. They get water cannon where they go use for protesters. Instead they use them because they're not labeled in a terrorist organization. The people are not a terrorism, let them kill them. My brother, the only person they kill on the spot are terrorists. Because the president not telling us say anybody protest are terrorists, they are not protesters, but they are terrorists. Even they not get weapon on arm. And they're not even looking at proportionality. When the British High Commissioner, we go address the government, it raised two concerns. He said, continue the government, they accuse the opposition for being terrorists. That's one. Two, he said the way and manner how the police respond into crisis, he worries of. He said, treating. He said, one, for respond in a calm manner, in a responsible manner, with a proportionate manner. Calm, responsible, and proportionate manner. But if somebody stone you, once they take stone for you, you go take bullets for them. Not to bullets for stone, not stone for stone. Then get so many things. So, my brother, if you make any protest for say Team Tangana, then do bad. If they say cost of living, then do bad, then they right. And by law, let me tell you something. We will not in our lawsuit for ask police for clearance. No. Police for protection, not for give clearance for say one protest to when I give clearance, so they for give protection. Yeah, I want to protest. When I write to the police, when I tell them protest from so hour to so hour, like one clearance, one law like use security. Then they approve them and go at the police when I want. Then they be on a team when I reach. In case somebody want come inside, in case somebody want misbehave, they arrest them. But we now, if you want protest, you can go tell the police. When I go to the office, when I make case, when I judge, they say no, well, this year when police, you know right, when I don't protest for this year. Now police as police they say no right for protest. No, but one I will say when I protest for fear. Will London say fear don't go up. But they say London, yeah, will get free healthcare. They say the NHS good now. Then they say that the road good now. Then they say the light good now. They say London say fear don't go up. As he talk the bad thing then compared to first one. But if they say that when I give all my lighters alone, they say no, hey boy, when I say all man get right, the economy not to the same. But we can't by inflation, they say that the same. We can't by inflation to the same. So because they don't care about the reason for the protest, they just care about to say the protest happy. That means they kill people and they will see 3-year-old girl. 3 years, imagine. Not so 3 years old girl. Then kill the picking. The person that been price picking. Kill picking them. They say they for go, they for clap for them. My brother, the reason for letting them see they kill the police and so because that it boiled down thing. You don't say they be at this thing, say police kill always a kill. So this time around, say for you don't like them. It's wrong. But what's make you happy so? That because people don't fed up of too much police brutality, too much police killing, the harassment, the oppression. And when the police say, when they repay the thing now, that the innocent policeman not going to go for a back. This time, a very big crime. At the end of the day, this thing will lead to destruction. You know, if you play 10 video, they will tell you see the security sector shot the bad protesters. The first thing will tell you. Now reaction, then the protesters they do. Now reaction, then they do. But when you look at them, and they post fire. Then even fire posting us, the person they look at boy they see the veranda, then go kill that day. You know, then still is on the veranda, then go kill the fire. Most of the video, We finance it links to see the video. Now, protester, that says no. Please, they are doing this with impunity. Extrajudicial killing, man, have been done 30 years ago in 1992. Kill the Comrade Koita, the Salami, cook and I can do them without being tried. They didn't have to cool. They go to them and kill them. 30 years ago, he has never been tried. Then they can do so. So we go for Salon, we go for go back to history because they don't commit crime 30 years ago. They don't do that. They make the same extrajudicial killing. Look what happened today. The protests done around them 5-6 protests done on the good and night being killed at the room there. Look, you see, but they're all over the streets. Then go and pick body. Hey, bo. A whole team from the president like that. One person has said, "You're going to be directly tell or you're going to be directly." Now they party. I get the video of that. Then they go and kill. And then say in the morning, there'll be 5 or 7 people there. Say on the 11, we don't see up to 25 bodies in that street. The minute that street, they don't leave and they don't go and kill people and go knock on people, fire, kill them, pull them. Able at this time of the day.
Even in the report, you say a 16-year-old girl, and this is the pathetic part about the entire story, where you don't have to be in support of either party, just being a Sierra Leonean alone, and then the president label everybody, as terrorist, and then the others, the police, as being, of good faith. When the guy will be in Viranda, will not participate for nothing, but he got killed right now in Viranda, where he just mentioned. When the 16-year-old girl within a house, we don't lost in life, we don't participate in the thing at all, but got caught up in a stray bullet and you name it. So the president, therefore, be careful in what he say. He's absolutely responsible for, providing peace. Let's take another listen at the president in talk where we for talk, and then you provide equally another analysis for us, please.
Let me another talk. This Mina Soja Adenaya, I was elected to come here. The time we have been used ammunition for Kanaya, it don't pass. Anybody where you say the Kanaya, if already. That one, I don't tell them it's Monday when I'm not been there. I don't tell them. I have the right to self-defense. If you left Sudan, then go kill you. You have nowhere to complain. If you come protest, there is a civilized way to protest. You can sing the whole day. I go past you, sir. Where I go, New York. We had huge people then. They say, me the cut throat naya every morning. They team up on the road. The APC. Awaka. Before then, I go to the SLPP. After then say, now we country with the poil. I see picture of them, me don't know how they pull them. Blood, they all over people them face. They say they pluck their eye, did they do this? Now that's with the show, not the world.
Prince, the first thing was the man, they forget himself so much. The man, they forget himself so much that the man saying a soldier, he forget say, Mr. President, you don't to soldier man anymore. You know go there soldier man. As he say, likely say, even the NPRC will come, you know, join the can join later. The very day the opposition take place will be day. But okay, you come to go on and be NPRC. But now they elect him for Sudan. They forget saying an elected president. You know the man? Now that full talking to tell SLP, man, I be wearing jacket, very military jacket. He's saying a soldier. You see, the first concept we get, that military concept say in a soldier man. That NPRC say, not to democracy. We can do anything. Because we don't do it 30 years ago, they kill people and do all kinds of things, abuse people and right. If it's the same thing they do. So in first mistake first, that mentality we get as a military man. They come in there so now. And if you pull that mentality as military man, if you go into politics, in a democratic politics, if you pull that mentality, so that's a sort of miss everything. The man he don't left the army from 1996. Today, if he's in a soldier man, if he's over to go he forgets the elect him for Sudan Day. And this time around, it's a rule where in a democratic state, it's the rule. He say, he don't tell the rich man there, he got to self-defense. For God's sake, would attack the president one day. So when people protest, now time they attack him. Now protesters they don't become now aggressors. Peaceful protesters don't become aggressors. So because he got a mentality say, he got to self-defense. Anybody come for protest, then government is challenged, so they for kill him. They for kill him because he don't put us in a offense to them. Nobody no gonna lodge. Nobody no gonna state house. Nobody no gonna parliament. They put them in the system. They come peacefully to placards. We don't see, okay, let's go to the woman, they will be July 4th, they go protest, so the policeman and go, like, they go, beat them, tap them, now because of man abuse instructions. See anybody they protest, now attack, they can attack them, so let them defend them. So because that mentality, they, and all that when they do this clear now from the Lord, they come out. I make a call one, Taylor, the wide in at the Lodge, the RSM Matia, one day they call Koiko, and all they get a picture, and they did at the Lodge when they say they defend SLPP. So because the president got that mentality, my brother, saying as a man, because they that democracy, you don't believe see anybody will protest back against them. Now enemy any attack, so we get that for kill them. Thank God, and since they don't tell the which man, they don't tell the which man them. Which man they get tell we in future they will tell team tell them. And then get the guy and say, okay, go kill the people them. We don't go protest, kill them. We don't say that secret of killing, couldn't do it by the something. Go assassinate them, them. So the mentality of the man, nine and brother, me as a man, why they forget self-defense. They say in self-defense, the roots of England for themselves, no. Paragraph 1 say, it may affect your right to self-defense. But however, on the end statement, firearms will be the last resort. If now they for like what happened at the Capitol building, they might know now say there's no way in passing for. And then they say you can only fire the ringleader. Only they say aim. You can only fire when it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely, they don't say just fire. It's when it's absolutely necessary for fire. It's not a mechanic. Even they get it right, they tell you say when it's absolutely necessary. Meaning, if that protest account where begin fire, maybe you don't fire one security person. You don't know say they don't fire two. You don't go sit down now, they kill all them, you they react. That's when it's absolutely necessary. And the only fire they say they react to effective enemy firing. And there's what to make it effective when the bullet don't touch somebody. You don't hit somebody. Now they react. Because you know just fire for 5, 6. So that they know they fire so what they fire pan man no. Upon protest, they will placard, where they come up for match. That in the fire, my brother, nothing. If you fire tear gas, protest, Lord make a yourself winner. If you then send tear gas, the people and the take and the turn and get the policeman. Now, yeah, they happy in America. What's wrong with happen in Africa? What's wrong with happen in Salon? If you send tear gas, protest and take a stand by you, what's wrong with that? So if you use that bullets, if you use bullets, that's very big no. So if you don't kill anybody for that protest, we don't obviously the brutal killing of them policeman. Then that is circumstantial fact. We really glad when they kill a policeman in the but the truth is the matter. The president is statement to talk now. So that's what people they talk when they for themselves. You know, so German, you know, you forget yourself quick. You don't have family from 1995. You better self in 2018. You don't have family from 1995. One can't talk about soldier business. What is Abi? Again, you don't know nothing. So you get that mentality of primary party mentality. Say, when then something happen, they kill. You forget this a democratic state. So then you know, we don't let for whip up from we don't let because in time don't know. So you just get for facing in your trial because we don't go accept them for commit extrajudicial killing 30 years ago in 1992. In 2020, they go free. This time around, they go free. Or they draw all the kids of Bambi Kamara them and others. Yeah, I can do them. Counter Dombia and Salami Cook and kill for nothing. For nothing. For no reason. How am I going to Palema? You lock at a jail. You go down for treason. You kill them. Yeah, I can do them. Bambi Kamara. This time Palema, you go there for treason. Say they want me cool. Who's that in me cool? Then they lock them to advance. And they say they want me cool. You pull in an net. Go execute them. Cold blood without no pass and no cut. So you don't street man abuse. If you say you can't kill back this time, he left pumping. This why if they go pumping, they all come. We know which one person know, but trust me, with the full routine, the law say. They not for go free. Salon law say extrajudicial killing na crime. Nobody not for kill without court not sentence you. Now court for say we don't sentence Koita to death by hanging or firing squad. If you court not sentence me, you go kill me. You don't commit crime. All right, they kill a Panama road. Panama road is genocide because they kill over 100 unarmed inmates. Unarmed inmates over 100 that day. From the same presidential guards, I know they all back when they enter the same batch as so that in the same batch as back in the Panama road. Kill on the kill plot, impunity inside cell, inside the block there, then they fire them. Over 100 inmates. They don't come back and say, I'm a soldier. Who they attack you? Who they fire against you? So if you speak soldier language, who they fire against them? Now he not react to firing. He react to protesters them. And he instructions who kill them. Now you see, so in statement that's already. Now you've got a statement to talk so now they go to see when I will kill them. I will attack protesters for God's sake. If even they go to that step, we don't deserve match. Not down the street to go. Now inside they will go enter old placard and never have it. Then cause we invite the escort to the escort to talk to them for talk come and go. If even people hold placard, they want that front of Lord they tap the whole. That's the right. And the right to tap the presidency, that's the right. They're not for kill them. It is our law, bruh. If they're going to state out the front of state out the presidency, she also that's the right. Now offense for go protest, now offense. Now make you soldier. So you soldier might not go first all. That by people it go pull strength.
Anyway, Comrade Koita, well said. I get one video for play. Again, you'll be not touch on them. This is about one of the SLPP guys campaigning. I don't think say there's anything wrong with the campaign, but you find something wrong with the campaign because you mentioned them. So I'll play the video, let you analyze them, and then we go read comments from the chat room, and then we will get one final thought and close this great program. Here's the video.
It was each. Yes, excellent. 27 people and they get 500,000 euros, yeah? All right. Each one of them. So now that is Samba. Not what we do about. Now what I do? So waiting that they say this election where they come, we need una all for register. Yes, sir. People that were not registered last election, we make sure say they register. Yes, sir. Continue for happen. Now President Bill for Sidon Day back. But how we go Sidon Day? Now only if we are waiting. No.
Right.
All right, Comrade Koita. Now that means that there's a part of it where really it's disgusting, but at the same time comical. He asked the crowd after I don't promise them 27 of them 500,000 each. If we now want for let this kind of thing happen again, that in other words, forgive una 500,000 again. Me they buy una vote for 500,000. So una need for vote the president back. But anyway, your analysis on the video.
30 million of 500,000 for them to 12 people a day. This is the money they send for the one with the fire victims them because this man did the disaster management. It's a government institutions. You can start here with local governments. You need to go speak politics. They can pay for nobody because you the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You serve. You learn that to the state today, not to the. You learn that to the government, not to the state today. Yeah. So because you can start in government, like you know military man. You know, you look at awareness, you look at statistics or NEC. You serve the government of the day, so you don't get a reason for talk politics. You don't get a reason for go tap and campaign because if you want campaign, I mean they give you all the right. Even they make an analysis. If you want to go to politics, they resign 1 year to the time. Before you go to politics, they resign. Left the work, they approve it, don't resign, they don't say don't resign. You can go speak politics. But for now, see, somebody they serve in a disaster management, a director of disaster management. Go and hold money. If they boost, is it to say, that one? See that President Bill. You get that? You don't tip money. You don't tip so many money. So you get President Bill. The money they send for the people na we far born. And then you get that flood in 986 now for go pay to the people. See na President you say no can get follow and register. You cannot buy the votes because now one side of the country the targets. They forget the majority is one side of the country. You go to people in the future. The answer is no. You pay in a McKinney, the answer is no, or Poloko or Cambia, the answer is no. You know, pay in a Kono, the answer is no. How you go, you government official, but that man is in a hacker. Governor Clarkson is when the kid died so. Now hacker. If not, if I don't go make somebody talk, you know that impunity, that tribal sentiment. Now from the same talk come out because not taking as one tribe party, then the one of them. The tribalism and the political party they affect the professionalism. And you belong, you know, affect your professionalism. We all belong, no matter what happen. Me, I been in the army. I belong, but I don't ever kill and go. I don't ever allow them. I can never deal. No minister say for civil. Like I'm beginning for good, you know, because I don't let them take professionalism. I behave. Say what one can for can talk politics. I resign honorably. Now I'm going to talk so today. Nobody will challenge me because you know, see, in my service I don't encourage politics at all. In my service, I don't love for let politics take over me. Why do I go for good vote? I didn't talk me politics. I vote for that. I vote for. I come out for do. But I don't ever speak politics. I don't even see political competition. No. What one kind of politics I left? I'm right. Now me right for left. I say okay. Let me come now for can speak politics. Now I can't talk. I can't do be frank right like President Bill. Although he may not point new OT because he overthrow government, he may not go against the oath of service long ago. But me, I know overthrow government, I got sample. I left, I said I can't play. So for that man, they as somebody who work in the government, they serve, that the state they pay money, and they go for good campaign. For in campaign of time, they don't begin to talk, see, when I vote president, you back, when I come back again. Hey, you see the battle they talk about. So tomorrow, if government change, we'll see sometimes somebody back when I'm not and sometimes in the man. Then go begin campaign at the back country in the country. Or go can go country begin campaign for APC. Sometimes we'll see to the man, you know, if I again. We don't see the IG, former IG, so we'll like go down to President Bill. IG, you didn't say anything. We build that's it, that's it. We don't see him. We don't see the IG go pan SFP convention. We don't see him. These are the bad that the children will be so. You not to joke, my please. This is very serious because if we're not going here now, we will see the worst get for government change because they will see in a week. Try them and I've got examples alone. The plus start and almost. I would always support that and now. I don't see. No, see when the IG go pro president. If say Pakala people na baglo Pakala run to you. Then nobody left. Yeah, that's the truth. Because if we don't stop them now, we go. I'm go say Pakala people you run to you because you are in a position. IG they be in the dance. They say the chief Chris, all man for Chris. You know, we get Chris president, all man Chris on that. That's what they say. They say chief Chris, all man for Chris. So because of the level we get, we're in full, all that is taking a full man there. Look, David Francis, I don't know how he studied now. I don't know how man they study peace and conflict because I'm sure the two is studying at 9/11. He can't study peace and conflict, leave the peace and conflict, leave the peace and conflict alone. If not at a level, more electioner, okay, how the man going to government this way? They go and talk rubbish. Look at the man go address the foreign people like wisdom, we talk. You see the grievances, man. You know, the mentality ain't bad. This tribal sentiment for left arm. Salon, no, they run by tribe. And one tribe no go run Salon. Salon, we're so lucky that now the most peaceful country will not be noticing a tribalism, will not get a religious problem. Christian marry Muslim marry Christian, church and mock this to nobody make halal. Now no more get at the world, but few country get at all they enjoy. Church and mock they no problem. Tadi me need the marry team, we marry me. Now don't talk problem. Marry no scatter and this is every politics here. People know to man one year, this because many was another year timely. Who's can country to the in 4 years? In Manchester, they talk that President Bill. People have money on the tip on a tip no more. When a tip alone go for election, you can't get account. Thank God, this social media age we don't see face. That money they would I for go get it. You have if I don't born flood victim then when I sick and I go spend and sell and register. Well, I know God know how much I give people for votes. If I don't give people 500 for register, how much they will give them for votes? Now God sabi. Because this for voting to for register 500,000 euros. How much they will give them for votes? So now they want buy the vote by force. When I only money, when I eat on our money, when I go, when I register, but time for vote, when I choose all of the votes because now I suffer. Then if they don't give 500,000 for register, how much they will give for votes? So that's 5 million. We go times by 10 now for say go to only 5 million. Because not even money already. They're not even country money, the same money, but then get the money for go and get a problem for say go register. Election term, when I hold the money, when I vote for the future. When I don't say, now you know I have the buy study. Then we have to buy cement, then we have to buy paint, then we have to pay transport. If you transport don't go down, then go vote for SFP. But if you say you don't go up, then vote against them. It's simple. If you don't know if you suffer or you enjoy, if you rest 100,000, then vote against the president. BBC rest at 200,000. If they put at door, now rest at 500,000. If rest don't go 200,000 above and carry them, I'll vote for them. But if rest at 500,000 above, then nothing for do. We need to tell person, just vote with your conscience. No, see that 500,000 they give you know, get that for do to you. If future pass 500,000. Vote possible they can't get that for everybody. Who they have to me and Prince? We want equal opportunity. Not only the European money, they are equal opportunity now. We can't today, you like better pass with this alone because yeah, now equal opportunity. What in Prince they eat able to eat? What in that man? What in Prince that man will sleep that to homeless they eat? Without no argument, they eat them. Everybody eat fine. So now one for saloon. No say who not do this now. Who suffer. Who say people get the same mentality. We join president, we go tip Salomon, we come back to the country because they went down for tip a car. That like this tip in run away. Thank God they get found over power. So before that power, don't make you out of arrest. You need to go not say when the pay price. Thank God, thank you. I want do this how I agree for President View. Now we can establish this commission of inquiry. Say we possible government, if we get account. That's a tell and thank you. And again for continue. In a sincere manner, people forget account of how they work. Not to any bad thing and the only time I know say what you do, although you know out of sincerity, out of which hunting. If you may sincere with that thing, they trust me, even for achieve. But because I get the mentality of sin, now one party, one people, one tribe, and no more on thief, they can label as terrorists, that make you not succeed. Nothing, man. If you make in a genuine manner, you minister the for 10 years, I can't get accounts. Yeah, you know, say no for get accounts. What to make you be minister? No, get accounts. No, do we try to what you not do so? Law says somebody can't do the same account inquiry. That will develop. But you don't start the pace is very good. For continue.
Yeah. Many thanks. Let me read some comments then quickly. When they hear you, Comrade Koita,
Yeah. Now you know, see,
call the
call
come
me back.
in.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we did the comments. Let me get this in now.
Oh, okay. So we're just about for read comments in our chat room, both chat rooms. We're not able to read all. There are numerous comments, but we'll try for read both the Facebook and YouTube, some of them. So Facebook started with, "You should stop blaming President Bio, you people." David VC say, "Oh, really?" David VC say, "Please, what do you mean?" Usman Kamara, "The misbehavior of the Sierra Leonean of the Sierra Leone against the citizens." David VC say, "That is your opinion." Matu Hassan, "Tell them Sierra Leoneans, when they are tired, they have no fear." Davsorius. Wow, what a name. Sound like a first timer. Comrade Koita, all what you are saying is the truth. APC members of parliament needs to fight, speak, and advocate for their people that voted them. They are having phobias of Unta President Bio and his cabinet. Same Davsorius. Alfred Peter Conte is selling the party in his own interest. Simera Conte, President Bio and the entire Paupa team lost their way within 100 days of their presidency. You cannot run a country in a divisive system. Davsorius, when SLPP was in opposition, they stood up for their right. Why not APC that has over 4 million supporters, members in the country? Davsorius, I was one of the mapping officers for Falaba district. Most communities were left out because no road network, Kulo, Saradu, and many more not to be measured. This is clear fact that the census was not catered for all the people in Sierra Leone. Matu Hassan, APC already have a flag bearer. All we need now is the administration members. APC will win the election because the citizens are ready. Word or no word, we will win. Comrade Koita, all that you are saying is the truth. Mohammed Lume, you are missing using the profit picture. Matu Hassan, the 21 man, the 12 member have no problem. All the problem is with the 9 men who want some C4C. I will ask Comrade Koita that question. In fact, Comrade Koita, before I go forward for read the rest of the comments, what's your take on Alfred Peter Conte's side of things and former Vice President Sam Sumana, the issue of membership for Sam, and recently waiting happened regarding money being paid by Sam? Don't know how true is that. I haven't gone to verify that story. But what's your take on Sam Sumana's return to the party, membership issues, especially with the 9-man committee of Peter Alfred Conte?
Well, I don't want to talk about Sam here because I want to talk about if it's Sam, convention people Sam like the party and the party be not in, acceptance they can, but you have to follow the same process of for like the party. I don't want to talk about Sam.
Okay,
I don't want to because I don't want to talk something about the party or disadvantage them. I want to keep that view. Who's voting the party for do? Me not to the spokesperson of the party. And no one can talk for the majority of the leadership of the party. I just want to represent the side voting into as a chairman is rather unfortunate. If you want to do something, like get a committee and noting the rules say of the party, follow the rules of the party. If even you want Sam, I don't think Sam for be even an issue in APC. Anyway, I don't think that should be an issue we APC will handle as a political party. But I tell you, I just want to keep me argument have Sam and this conversion and no one mix up because.
Oh yeah, okay, no worries. I respect that, and we'll go no further. And they try for set up a match between you and what's his name? Thomas. That's coming. Very interesting.
That's fine. I welcome
that. Before EBK choose Dr. Samora Kamara, they all signed. Davsorius, Comrade, it's not about supporting the party interest, but we should support the interest of our beloved country. Mama Salon, APCNs need to come together to put the interest of our beloved country, Mama Salon. That's why my greatest mentor on earth, Mandela, he fought for South Africa, not his tribe or region. That's why South Africa is far ahead of us today in terms of democracy. Okay. Samuel Bangura, you are definitely right, Comrade Koita. Too many APC flag bearers, and that is causing infighting and a huge setback for the party. Des Egerton Esiogeni Akodono. Dr. Samora Kamara is all what it takes with his background, history of ideas, vision and sincerity, honesty and integrity to be a president of Sierra Leone. If KKY for president and team leader of both men, Sierra Leone will change for the better and future generations. So I take and say this person, they look at Dr. Samora Kamara backed by Dr. Kande Kole Yumkela. Wonder if that is possible. Lawrence Fox, we will resist PPP. Matu Hassan, Dr. Samora Kamara is the nation's choice. Des Egerton Apudono. President Bio does not have any leadership skills, experience, or ideas, vision to transform himself or the nation. President Bio has failed since he was in the NPRC. Matu Hassan, you will never resist yourself. We are here to talk about the mighty APC. Comrade, all of you guys are fighting for your own selfish interests, because allow APC to conduct their election rather than some of you guys to imposing Dr. Samora Kamara on the people of Sierra Leone. That's why there's still tension in the party. Abdullah Kamara, today and yesterday's medium, just to give us insight. Please, not the one generally given to diasporas. Abubakar Rashid, even the mayor of Freetown is being accused of incitement. Comrade, what's your take on that? Comrade Koita, that's a question for you.
Thank you. I want to start to this possibility. He mentioned Nelson Mandela when he fled for South Africa.
Yeah,
we get to mix up when the time when Mandela stood up for South Africa, the entire black of South Africa was marginalized. Every black family feel the same pain. So if you get the support each and every, even who in South Africa said all black men across the world, they fight against the apartheid government. So, and Mr. Namba, because he fight for so many years, go in prison after 27 years, we come out, it's another second time. In fact, not even ending time. That is somebody they fight for a cause. He gets sense of purpose. All those people like the South African people get liberty. They say they fight for equal rights. One man, one vote. We achieve them is the blue. And I make all respect today. Mr. Nami mentor. Let me come to this person. We talk say we don't stop for blame President Bio. Oh, this person let just go and not even go far. From when building our position and they blame APC. They don't come 4 years. Say they blame APC. How we not go blame them for the wrong doing that alone? So we don't for blame we then put us from 200,000 to 500,000. We don't for blame we pull fuel from 6,000 to 18,000 or 22,000. We don't for blame we pull cement from 2,000 to 120. We don't for blame. If it's not blame Bio, then why would I support Bio for blame the former president that APC will not do so? We get for be honest to convention them. We get all right for blame the government of the day. If it's not blame Bio today, then Bio they blame government for 4 years. The past government you don't blame, and it's hey, like APC, the think tank of APC. We don't want to blame. Something that I want as a response to somebody where APC I see he get objective in the thinking. This possibly say we don't need the convention. No, we need a convention because now me could say we don't want selection. We need a convention. Even if somebody get for favor, we need a convention. But I know say it's a process where they go pull and go choose the person. We need a convention. That person talk say what is what of Samora Kamara. The answer is very big no. As then I say you might not like Samora Kamara, but for today Samora Kamara is the most popular candidate. Even you write the support, you know say this candidate is popular past me on. So for the purpose of peace and for the interest of the country, I say we don't need. Let's go to the example of history of 1985. I give history of House Executive Canton chairman APC, John President. I give history of way how Momo can Dompo. I give example of how Ernest Kumar been choose. Samuel, I give example of how Ernest Kumar go back to 7 elections in the interest of the party of the country. Seri command them mean that the senior of Ernest Kumar, the big passam, they call them Koto. But they no say Ernest Kumar to the longer the popular, just like Samuel I get so. And say go Ernest. Then say no, not left Ernest, a small one. They didn't normal one left and get. And the same grassroots way they be Samuel say they be Ernest that anything. APC, the history of APC, and they said the grassroots turn. Now this leadership they go. The same grassroots be support and the 205. But my all man and say come and say nothing. Lord left and say they call them Koto. He go beg them. Say be and Koto. Don't get problem. We been get 12 court case. Then pull all one green day because them elect the party. Then go to convention 205. They say let's go back continue for 207. So we know the elect party. You might not like Samura, but if you look what happens around the world, honest to self and the party. We no need for Kaya and argue for who they choose. Me, anybody they choose, hey, they choose someone I get for talk to me. If they go choose someone I get for talk to me, anybody they choose me an APC member. Me a member, paid up member. And at the country one like go before, but when they look at the voting at the possibility, who say we know they get headache too much, who say we know they get too much doubt, who say they feel people and not turn the eye. Let me can see you might not like Samora Kabara at all. But for today, if it's not among incompetent, he's the most popular one. That the sacrosanct fact. In and out of saloon, where can a diaspora? If you're not a possibility of condemn support as a camera, you get few support Petito, can more than get a support, Kefala Mara, Paulo, everybody get support. But the base for today is with that mandate. It doesn't mean say I still go to a flag bearer. I just tell you honest opinion as a party man. And me the talk for bell person. You may not like what I talk because sometimes if you against your candidate. You don't even know that me the support self. Because me, I tell you that say that time is for that point the pointer. They can't to talk and see now. Someone nine get the pace.
I understand say they support. I understand say from the grapevine. I understand say they support Diana Konomani.
Well, I don't know for what thing. That's not a flag bearer.
I don't know, but
well, how I don't know how to support to flag bearer. Flag bearer, running mates. I don't know possible running mate because the flag bearer for choosing running mates. Would I be go support for running mates?
Maybe Diana Konomani is attached to a particular camp where they get the
no. Let me tell Diana Konomani with me. We don't be close person for over 30 years. In Papa to Papa, family friends. We are family friends. But men too, we are very close for over 30 years, over 40 years. Men don't they very close. The 90s, I mean, they sleep together, eat together, go mine. So men to that party apart from politics.
So there's no basis to that story,
so,
Comrade Koita.
There's
no basis to that rumor where they make the.
No, there's no basis. No, whether they born Kono, they're not saying down at a party. The 90s, women in the army, we down at the mine. If they can't tell me today, me run down that shot. We'll to go far. We'll go to far. We'll go mine. We get again a restaurant. That go eat. All man knows to a friend. We are friends before this time. So we that whole family bond. That politics can't scatter we. Matter of fact, if you don't have to go for flag bearer, I support and directly. I can't talk about that. I support.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay, comrade. Before we go to the to the comments made on the mayor Obiwale, you touch on as well. Yeah. You make a very good point in which somebody say then they blame President Bio all of the time, and then go on for make an analogy between Sierra Leone and South Africa, Nelson Mandela, where happy for be the person he mentor. So you made some news there. But I'll play this video for the benefit of the general public on the basis of the blame game.
The people want change. The people are tired of the suffering of paying for a bag of rice at 200,000 from only 60,000 in 2007. The people want democratic change to end their suffering. But what type of change do we want for this great nation? What type of change do we want for our children's future? What type of change?
Comrade Koita, this is hypocritical, isn't it? I mean, just listen to that video, candidate Bio then and President Bio now. Your thoughts?
No, it's SSF tell the police what type of change, because he knows the right person because he don't feel MPRC. So he actually tell the Senator and say, he knows the right person because I told you what asked the question. And the answer was, say, you are not the right person. President Bio, the man will not understand. The first Africa in governance in 1996, rest have been 10,000 for bag. Rest, it was 10,000 for bag. Who be the guys? We go sell who then supply with us who not married. We go sell the guys 10,000 to put in a pocket. We know the stem safe. So it was 10,000 and then they said this year, next year, all over the world, price will ever remain the same. Yeah, if 2,000 would have been, we put them there 2,000, the price would now be the same. You know, ever be the same. Price it increase gradually, small. But then can in 4 years, this is taken from 10 years for putting 60,000 can go to 200,000. I agree. But you take and first 4 years, for 200,000 can go 500,000 4 years. From 200 to 500,000 views. You know, one of the things like the mayor on your side, we don't see before the mayor no attack and pass any other person. For the mayor in Sycamore, remember who said the seat of governance, we get minister for Western area. We see the meaning President Mayor for himself again because the resident minister is South, East, North, and Northwest, and they represent the president. Now so now future now you don't get possible representative now. You don't need for himself again because you don't get minister for Western area. Because you only get resident minister who said the president told it. Who said the president you don't need minister day. So now they not be president know the work because you get minister do for it now. Because if you can't get that's the truth. You don't know nothing. So the mayor that's a long ago. So me I'm not surprised when they even connect the mayor. And this you know, say even now man they protest, they correct mayor panel. So whatever thing happen in future, they see that mayor and the support him, even if you know it. So Ion side, we don't see no attack him, they don't beat him, they don't try to assassinate him, one time with the Jogna beach. So accusing the mayor for this protest here, then just one try for for add nobody pressure upon him. But you know what, I like that man is very strong. They desist. She's a very strong woman. I admire her so much, and I like the courage we get that never you need to give up on them petty things. They don't do so many things to me of this. So this one, and at least interview at BBC, she was just on point. She was just on point on
always on point.
Yes, she was just on point. So why so they encourage them, they continue to encourage them. Let it not look at distraction. Let it just put eyes on the ball. They focus what they and the whole world knows they're not taking that long ago. They're not going to increment up this one because not to call for protest. In the city of Mayor, no me say for protest meaning at the city. When Mandela be not accuse the minister of Western area? Why not accuse him if I for Randy? You can get minister to supervisor.
You don't because the answer could be because it is a design. You ask a good question, reflect on that. You not accuse the minister of Western area because protests happen there, but you quick for jump on the mayor. Come on.
Mayor. Yeah. So it's simple.
Okay. Matuasan, Koita is not imposing Dr. Samura Kamara. You self-know say Dr. Samura is with the people since 2018. The doctor had gained love from the people of Sierra Leone. APC problems now, Sam Sifosi and Peter Conte. Lawrence Fox, Samson, you guys must protest. Lawrence Fox, Bio and Ali Kaba are terrorists. Matu Hassan, Medke need to be free. The guy has medical issues. Honorable Mohammed Bangura is in CID now for what? Comrade Koita, waiting at the latest you hear about Medke. I understand they didn't pick him up since yesterday. Any information on the guy?
No, Mohammed Bangura.
Mohammed Bangura.
Medke don't need that members from the 7th. Mohammed Bangura, then. Medke from the 7th and don't kidnap him. Because Minuto, I guess that he was kidnapped. Somebody call and say, Medke come once in a road. You know, say, I'm when he kill APC, he can go. So if he say sometimes somebody will for like you go na APC person. Where you go, he was kidnapped. The IG say no be aware about. CID say no be aware about. Up to now, lawyers will set eyes on the man. My brother, all over the world, all the people get yes. Up to now, from the 17th, nobody was no say Medke. And then we don't get information.
What the opposition they do as the opposition makes
well, that's why I blame. I make I say this the scanty press conference to me is to I'm not impressed because when you go to press conference, not to only talk about protest, we talk about the effect. What's in the protest to be? Oh, they not arrest Medke, they not kidnap him before the protest even starts from the 7th. Nobody will hear about. Then we see after the protest, and we'll suddenly kill something after protest. Now, Mami Bangura, he go court. Imagine what make it happen. So because leadership of the opposition not enough for that it. They don't just arrest MP like any criminal. If they want arrest MP,
absolutely. I mean, they're far beyond
now
that.
Speaker the key order for let arrest MP. Then get immunity even for my members of parliament. Talking about city members of parliament, but no arrest with MP. Then left and say lock them onto parliament because the leader of the opposition know they take this charge serious business because he's not affected. Then the one they arrest, lock him up it because then you know they say oh police knows it. How they going to arrest you MPs then for no reason? Just go pick them up like any criminal elected man. Just go and say you don't arrest, then go put and go lock them up.
Yeah, these guys are not ordinary. This is honorable.
Yeah, some member of parliament. You have people after that election, I want to then do arrest and go lock. You have people like Mara. You have people Panda. One with them, we be the Congo. They look at Bangura is a pass on 2-3 times. I feel go lock up because the leader of the opposition, no, this type of food say no, this is wrong. He's a leader of the opposition, not for protecting people. So then 2 hours after they talk, and people say, I don't need for hate you for not telling the truth. No. I don't need for lucky for go supported by the truth. I just need for tell the truth. I just need for be natural. For let them arrest my Bangura now, we get Medke. We don't know about my Bangura did said they don't kill something. You know to see what the way forward. So it's worrisome. The opposition leadership of the opposition parliament is weak. These are the circumstantial facts. I become all the old man in the governance. It's disappointing. Where the students are happy, then they accept her. Why did they accept her and then go sabi? Why not go sit up and then go sabi? It's worrisome. It's starting for see the whole sitting member of parliament, member of parliament, just go pick up like Tickman or like come on criminal.
Today's the 20th, almost 2 weeks. Nobody knowing where about a member of parliament. What's it? Anyway, Mega Rogers writes, Sierra Leone will stand tall very soon. Matu Hassan Evangelist Samson video will be played for them in the ICC. Memke, APC and SLPP are the cancer in Sierra Leone. I absolutely, but it's one of two devils. I agree with you, Memke. Memke, KKY is the best man for Salone. President Samuel Kamara is not fit to be president. He will just be as incompetent as Mother Bio. Junior Kande Salon Pekin is watching and having a laugh. Abdullah Kamara, if President Bio is appointing and sacking ministers and other people in different positions, is it wrong for millions that voted him to ask him to resign? That's a good reflection, Abdullah Kamara. Wow, what a question, what a thought. George Orwell. I stand I stand to be corrected. In your live program, you mentioned that Dr. Samora Kamara is the most appropriate candidate for the APC. That's why SLPP is witch hunting Dr. Samora Kamara. Haha, I like your program, comrade. There is victory for us 2023. Come election. With this team, Dr. Samora Kamara, blah, 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 blah. George Orwell, they are waiting for revenge instead of standing up against this criminal cartel administration. Okay, let me quickly cross over to the YouTube page. Let me see what in YouTube self the talk, because it will be unfair for let we not reflect YouTube thoughts. That would be really unfair, and it's not many, but we get the largest viewership now on this show from YouTube instead of Facebook. Facebook will get just over 107. On YouTube, we get something like 200. Pardon me. Christiana Florence Cress. Hi, Christiana. Christiana Florence Cress, my people them. Yes, so we sister. Christopher Florence Cress, una good day. Yes, so my sister. Charles Samuels. I love listening to this great patriot. Continue to be courageous. And I think say that's for you, Comrade Koita. Robert Cabo, Dr. Dennis Bright stated it that the plan of the SLPP will use it for boundary limitations. It is true, Mr. Cabo, but just a quick word of caution and advice. You know the drama where they unfold. For trust your uncle, your sister, your cousin, self, I go ask we all for be careful. You'll be told something that's absolutely not true. And let's just exercise caution. Peter Dowda, which party was the first to use census for boundary delimitation? Comrade Koita, which party have been the first for use census for boundary delimitation?
SLPP, of course.
Yeah, so Peter Dowda, I hope that answers your question, although I doubt, because I'm sure you were thinking something else. But even in this case,
it's happened in 2004. The census 2004, and give it the says all kinds of constituencies there. In 2002, in 1996 and 2002, na PR system we use. Because 1996 we make a war. 2002, one of the census in 2004, now make we use, now give we constituency, we use the do ban the delimitation, now we go to constituency level in 2007. So it was the SLPP in 2004.
So Peter Dowda, that answers your question. Even though I think you will get different thoughts. But you talk about even the midterm, that's completely different. But you get
no, we don't have midterm census. We don't get midterm census.
No, I just the
we don't get census. What you play miss up? We don't get census. Don't get during the war because during the war we do census. So it take a long time till after the war before we can get in 2004. It's no long overdue. So because we no long overdue, and they just say that according to Salon Constitution, if you don't pass 7 years, meaning we don't get constituency, the whole constituency will vanish. Or they run to one constituency. So because we're not long overdue, in 1996, we don't make able to get constituency because 1 million as a part of the country. So use the PR system. When by law it be applicable because we're not past 7 years. Then 202, we're not able to go to what we just also it has still need disarmament. So still use the PR system because it still not be applicable because the constitution will not vanish. But just after 202, get the census in 204. In just after the census, now get the delimitation. We make in fact we can get that we can get them councillors them, we can get wards them, we can get wards.
Okay. Michael Conte, the MPs of the APC are not serious at all. Peter Dowda, which party was responsible for the devaluation of our currency, the Leos? Peter Dowda, very interesting thoughts today. David VC say, okay, oh really? Peter Dowda, did Shaka Stephen ever had his expenses audited by the Auditor General? Yes. If you say auditing at today begin, Kadia to Conte. That is why Mada said new direction. Now everything is worse. Matu Hassan, tell them Sierra Leone. Rooney B. Salone is a vassal state. It has no autonomy to assert itself as a sovereign country. And all of your leaders are European pawns used to keep the people in a dire strait. And the country is unlivable. Rooney B always get very interesting thoughts, Yeah, thank you for that. Adco 2. We say no to boundary delimitations. This census is wrong. Rooney B, Bio must go. He's a vicious killer. It's one thing to keep the country and people impoverished, but it's another thing to kill and fail the people who put you in power for criticizing your failed attempt to rule. Let's see. No one else? We get few, but not the same people. Rooney B, you will not do any better than your political adversaries where you govern, where you given the go to manage the institutions of the neo-colonial nation state. This is the fundamental reality of colonial state. Now I understand Rooney B in mindset. A go up a canon, Rooney B is a Pan-Africanist. So I they see waiting to resonate from Rooney B. Many
Then
thanks
I'm a
for that.
Pan-Africanist too.
Yeah, and so am I. So am I. You know,
Yeah.
so am I.
We open-minded. We talk in an objective point of view.
Yeah.
We're not behind your fingers. We don't come here and clap for people. If you deserve for we for tap you on your back, we'll tap you on your back. But we'll tell you to keep with the tilted you keep going. We don't tap you for say stay. We'll tap you in a good team and say keep going, keep doing the right things. When you mistake them, we'll tell you say no, this thing is wrong. They will come back and push you up. Then we have to lift you up. We Pan-Africanists, we have that open mindset. Open mind compassion obedience. We know they can't tap us in because one tap, we tap you when you deserve our tap, we tap you on your back.
Based on merit. Comrade Koita, I'll give you the opportunity for close this brilliant program because it's so interesting. I mean, the thoughts on YouTube alone, there's so many members saying that they will get the largest number of viewers for tonight's program. And I'm impressed. And I tell you, thank you, those of you where they watch on YouTube. Because again, the platform they go through, would they recondition the platform? When I watch out, there's some news that they come out soon. We are realigning the platform. So keep a watch, and YouTube most likely go be with page, for watch. So I admonish una click on the bell so that you'll be notified of every broadcast where we get. Also, they ask una please subscribe. We are approaching the 3,000 mark subscription, and I'm very, very happy about that. Also, ask a friend, a family for also subscribe to the channel. And let me get the dissenting views, but let me keep the conversation real and respectful. Comrade Koita, my final question to you. A is a question. B, your perspective, because there are so many thoughts. Who do you think are the biggest loser? But all waiting happen so because we don't outline to Fambulem, waiting lead we up to August 10. This not to stranger, not to spacey come out, or you don't need for build rocket engine for understand. And you make them clear for Fambulem for understand. But there are many actors, some in the shadows. Who do you think say, or who do you think say are the biggest loser for this entire debacle will happen at the country on August 10? And away from that, your thoughts on 2023, looking at the wider picture of waiting to happen. So, protest, boundary delimitation, registration process, and the APC in quagmire way, Fanny Sef on the 21-man committee who stand and go organize and move forward. Are you optimistic the long and short of 2023? But let we begin with who are the biggest loser upon the protest.
Now the government. When you look what happened that day, the lose of lives of people, and the government lose because if any responsible government, they allow for them and killing citizens them. We see we saw lost so many people, where they assassinate some them, kill them, the protests, we see police station them burn, we see they kill policemen them, and we see they destroy government boss them. And we see the country not run as a country, and the economy just they not get nothing way for add to the economy. So the government are the biggest losers in this protest, and they lose because they get for pay workers them, then they get for go to build stations them, then they get for go them bosses them poor. So then they get for go pay money in the hospital for then they pay mortuary bills and so many things there. So the government is the biggest loser. Even the ammunition they use for power self. During the whole First War, the 90s, I don't know the price for bullet now. It was $7 for one bullet. How many rounds they use that day? They get for recover that in the day. So whatever thing happened in the protest, that the government are the biggest loser. The people and they win because the government express them. In the process, people will die. They not die for nothing. They die for just cause. Cause them believe saying that for protest. So the government and then the losers, they probably even get a charge for kill you citizens because they protest. You lose. You are not responsible. The responsible government is protecting people them, irrespective of it. In fact, in an extreme difficult case, that is they protect the people them. So for this one, that the government are loser, please.
There were two parts to it, and I mean, just want to let you give us a final summary. In other words, how optimistic are you of your party returning to power in 2023?
Very optimistic.
Putting everything, you're putting everything into perspective, waiting to happen.
Yes.
So the government, they try to prevent that from happening because all of what we see they happen now. President Bill in return to power in 2023. So all of this now, I want to let you lump together. And how optimistic are you?
Well, Usa draw the attention and draw to that election we happened at Kenema. When we see APC they go on center and they neck. We are the first 10, now one vote APC they get it. President Bill no like allow say let the votes reduce now the southeast, but we see that Kenema the vote increase. Now this is a strong goal, one of the strongest goal of the SLPP. We see we go to that they beat themselves on centers them. We see say we'll get way we don't imagine forget like a vote. Let me tell you something. What's happening at the country to make me a very, very optimistic say the APC can acquire 2023 with no doubt. If the APC, I repeat, and if the APC then get back to the census, they realize they think the bigger picture and think about the future of the country. Look what's in the episode today. They all look at the bigger picture. So you know what? It's not about APC or policy. Now look at the country interest. Now go and allow a candidate for go. Not just choose this way low go. Trust me, I like me will get candidates. The candidate will play what to choose a candidate. Trust me, we will exercise you. There is no way. Because the SLPP, they're not getting nothing to tell the people of Sierra Leone. There's nothing. Everything in a salon today, if you call roads, so all the bridges might have been OPs, that funded bridges from the APC regime. Everything. And if you back up by what's happening now, the suffering. My brother, 2023 is a clear win for APC, with no doubt. And they are very convinced about that. I don't say the only thing we make man have been in a party today because election can it. As election come, I'm very optimistic about that. Say the APC will come to power with with a vast majority. With a vast majority, so no matter how they make up, we're going to win.
Wow, Comrade Koita, I must say thank you very much, my brother, for me first time for have a conversation with you on this level. I have no doubt that you've left indelible print now the marks of the listeners them where they listen right now, and then one day we get for listen. And Fambulela just informed that this program will be sliced into bits and bobs, for we listening audience than as Sierra Leone. The cyber law cannot stop people from listening to we broadcast them because after all, we are part of a community of nations. And in a civilized world, globalization, they allow we for level they talk to each other because now one Lily village. Comrade Koita, this is my first time at the interview, but definitely this is not the last. And I hope for bring you come back soon as there are many programs lined up on the TNN Media Empire for let you can give me your perspective, which appear for be very, very brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mr. For the first time for me to you, I'm impressed about how you moderate the program. I've been in different platforms, but trust me, I'm comfortable discussing because I discuss somebody that Pan-Africanist, not being Pan-Africanist, somebody who get the country at heart, they talk in an open mind because you don't get anything, you don't get that way to keep. You just think, say, this is the right thing, I really appreciate and I like for kind of a platform. Anytime you call me, if you have a cut job for your sake, I will come because I've seen the sincerity in your conversation. I've seen like the honesty, like I've seen the passion about the country. Because let me tell you something, my brother, what we are doing today is not for us, not for picking them now. What who don't suffer now country, back in the days, what who suffer now the first to a lot of people don't suffer that today. So if I see somebody in a platform like you, giving the ask questions, you need to look behind. And me said the answer question which is I need look behind. I don't want to know if somebody for happy or not because I'm saying the truth. Mr. Fanteli say thank you. I'm impressed being in this platform, and I will anytime you call me, you are just welcome. I will come at any time.
Thank you very much for that public commitment, and definitely I shall be seeing you soon. So, Fambulem, once again, we've come to the end of another beautiful, beautiful TNN TV Media Empire program. I've been your host and presenter, Prince Emil Krom, hosting Comrade Koita. Until then, when I go hear from me again very soon, keep the ball rolling, keep your eyes on the prize, don't be distracted. The country should be the primary aim for all we concerns, not political parties, neither strongmen. Until then, bye for now.